is it? There we go. Okay, that didn't work. What the blood? What the blood? What that? Boom, 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 boom. I will figure it out later. I am so tired. I'm tired because I'm sick. I'm sick because I'm crazy. Yeah, that's me. You hear all this? You know why? Because I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care enough to fix it. because I'm tired. Yay, daddy day, boy, gay. Why is okay? You know what? Okay. Oh, why is okay? You know what? Okay. Oh, why is okay? This is the pre-show. Show. There it is. There it is, my friend. How are you today? It's weird. It's either on the top or it's on the bottom. Okay, now I can't grab. I can't grab that. Come on, son. Don't play with my emotions. I can't grab. My patience runneth dry. Do you work? No, I don't work for Microsoft. That would be a nice gig, though, right? Getting all that. What's up, BM? What does that stand for? Best man. I don't. Yeah, that's when you know you're tired. Like, can't come up with clever acronym equivalency test things. I don't know if this is gonna work today because I'm actually rendering a render in Blender on the same computer. Yeah, that's dumb. I know. And it's been rendering for like 3 days, and I'm probably gonna have to re-render it anyway. But I'm more than halfway through. I'm like in the last quarter of it, and I'm like, you know what? It's only 440 frames, but this, that, and the third, taking forever. The good thing is that I'm GPU rendering it, so I don't believe that any of these streaming things really use the GPU that much, because I was like at 9% or something like that. It was like low percentage. So I was like, I should be alright. But no, BM, I don't work for Microsoft. If you work for Microsoft and are offering me a job, then yes, hook me up. I mean, not hook me up. Get in touch with me. Oh, you can hook me up too, but get in touch with me. I'm at where can you get in touch with me? Just message me on Instagram, I guess, or something. Lloyd Esgee on Instagram. That's my Instagram. Send me a private message there, or you can go into the Discord chat. If you go to allgames.com/live, go in the Discord chat. You can send me a private message there, and I can give you my email address. Yeah, I wish. Come on, don't get my hopes up. Well, I don't. You know, that's the thing though. It's like, is it really good to work for Microsoft? Who knows? Because I was like, when I was a kid, I was like, yo, I'm gonna work for Disney. I'm gonna draw the cartoons. It's gonna be great. Then I like read some horror stories about Disney people getting fired for like going and having beer at the bar or something. I mean, maybe it was a little bit more than that, but still, they couldn't be them. They couldn't be they. You know, Disney was like, no, and therefore, ergo, they got zigzag zoomed. They got canned. So, yes. The girl in the chair. I didn't make the chair. I got the chair from, I can't remember where it was from actually. It was one of those free chair, like free 3D models. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I changed the colors and I did alter it a little bit. Definitely changed the colors because I don't. It was like brown and some other crazy color, so I made it white. And I built the Xbox dev kit, the Xbox Scorpio dev kit there. I built that. There's a PC underneath her legs, but you can't really see it because the lighting didn't quite work out. The controller I got from another free spot, the NES Mini under her feet. She's resting her feet on the NES Mini because that's how you do. NES Mini, it's just a foot pillow. I made that because it's just a square. And then I just, yeah, and the rest is just blocks and stuff. And the keyboard, I made all that stuff, but it's not real. It's not a real keyboard. It's just kind of a shape. It's a goof. It's, you know. Blender is a great program. Get Blender is free. And, yeah, I'll show you what I'm rendering now. It looks bad, so don't laugh. Let me go over here. That's the wrong one. There it is. So it's TV. The animation is it zooms in. It's like a living room and goes into the TV. It's an intro for a video that I'm putting together. A video that and see how slow it's rendering. It's like deep doop. So, and I looked at a video. It's like how to make your renders really fast. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And it helped a little bit, but not as much as I would hope. So like the last frame rendered 4 minutes and 15 seconds. It took the last frame to render. No, the last frame took 10 minutes to render. Yeah, that's the average, 10 minutes a frame. So 4,400 minutes, which is like 70-something hours. So 3 plus 3 days. So thank you, BM. Preach. I'm not good. I'm just trying. I'm trying to get good. I'm trying to GG. But if I keep, you keep doing stuff, repetition and all that stuff, you learn stuff, you get better. So that's my goal, is to get better at that, because I have ideas I want to, because I could do the music. Music's nothing. I'm blam, blam. I knock the music out. But I can't, Blender, I think I used to make a video intro a while back. That's crazy long. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Blender's good. I have to, like I said, this is kind of it's a full render as far as like just the beginning, because I'm doing the intro and outro. But, whatchamacallit? I mean, I have a RX 480. I don't have like a 1080 Ti or anything. So it's not a super crappy card, but it's not the super best card, but it's better than nothing. But anyway, yeah, intro and outro. But this is more of a test render to see what I need to fix. And I would have done it at lower resolution, but I wanted to see the full, because I was getting fireflies and I was in all kinds of noise. And I was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, oh, let me just render one. But I was like, I still need to see the movement. I need to see the model up close. And I was like, I'll just render it. Let's see what happens. And then I could see how long it's going to take and see if I cut down the time and all. You know how it is. You know how it is when we're doing it. Scrapyardy. Scrapyardy. I don't know if that's a word, but what y'all saying in chat? What's Tiger Claw? What's Tiger Claw spoiling now? Bumblebee trailer out tomorrow. Does anybody care about Bumblebee? And you can see a redesign of Soundwave and Ravage. Soundwave better be like Megatron. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Yeah, I miss doing 3D modeling. I use 3ds Max. Oh yeah. I never used 3ds Max. I tried what is it? Wow, my brain just ZBrush. I tried ZBrush, but I'm not too good at sculpting because, like I said, I'm a noob. And so I'm starting with simple geometric stuff, stuff I can make with the polygons. So I'm gonna start that way, and then I'm gonna try to build an actual model because I want to do a character for a video. So I got to build a model, then rig it, and then animate it. So those are the steps. So first, I'm like just doing this stuff where I'm just gonna custom build certain things, like the TV. I'm gonna work on some more good stuff on that TV because that TV didn't look good. And I didn't really use any reference materials, which I should. But is it free to download? What, Blender? Yeah, Blender's free, completely and utterly free. And it's so Blender is like so underrated. It's like, oh, you hear free, it's like, oh, it's probably hot garbage. No, Blender is far from hot garbage. The stuff I do in Blender is hot garbage compared to the stuff that you can do in Blender. You can edit videos, which I don't know if I recommend it because it's crazy complicated, but it's possible. I did another thing where it was part of a song. It's part of the last video I did, actually. And So the music was playing, and you can import the audio track, and then you can create objects and have the audio of the audio track influence the object. The first kind of the low end and the high end of the animation, and have it stretch and do all kind of stuff. I was like, oh, it like opened up the whole thing. So you can do visualizers basically, but you can customize it because you can make a whole scene of visualizers, and you can have the camera flying around the scene and everything's jumping to the beat. It's like, I was like, this is so crazy that ideas started spawning, and I was like, I can't, okay, slow down, son, because I can't, I'm one thing at a time. It's like, I know this is possible now that I figured out how to do this. It's not even me figuring it out. It's me going to YouTube and saying, I wonder how, and then boop, video come up. Like, okay. And then you look at it and like, I don't know what he just did. I can't. And you miss one step and it's over. It's like, it's not working. It's not, oh, I forgot to click the thing to apply the thing, and then now it works. I feel so dumb. So I end up have to do things over and over and over again, so I can like kind of muscle memorize it basically. But yeah. And I'm working on a video game with some guys, and I'm the music sound guy, but they were messing with UV maps and normal mapping, and it's not a 3D game, but we're gonna kind of put that in it. So he was like, oh, I'm messing with some normal map code. I was like, I'm messing with Blender. I could probably figure it out. And so I had never done it before. I just looked on YouTube for a UV map, normal map, how to do it, and boom, there's like a million videos. So a lot of people are doing videos about how to do stuff in Blender because it is a free program. So you go to YouTube, you can find out anything you want to do. You can find out how to do it. Basically, as far as like Maya and the other 3DS, I don't know because I never searched for that stuff. So I'm sure it's in there, but Maya's not free and 3DS Max is not free. So, but Blender's good. I mean, and there's a new version coming out. I think early next year. The beta's out now, or I think the alpha. I don't remember, but it's 2.8, and it significantly changes. The UI changes a little bit, but to the better of it. They implement a better grease pencil, which is the ability to draw 2D animation in the 3D environment, so you can actually draw. If you're a 2D animator, you could do it, and then you can have the whole 3D environment, and it's like boom. It's like, yo, if Disney had this back in the day, I don't know what they were using, something custom, but what other software do you use, or is it also Got jokes? I don't think Blender, I think that's the one thing Blender can't do is that would be funny. Like, how to make music on Blender. Like, what? Are you serious? No, I use Ableton. I can use Pro Tools. I was using that for a while. It's okay. A lot of things about the DAWs are, a lot of the different DAWs kind of spit out a different, how do you say, not sound quality, but like Pro Tools renders Reaper is free and very professional. Oh, Reaper. Let me, you got a link? No, I'll look for it. Let me see. That's, I'm always looking for some new stuff. Let me see if I can find that real quick before I let you go. All right. Let's see. Let's change this. I don't need that. Go back to her. Reaper DAW. Here we go. Cool. Official site. Reaper is a completely digital audio production application for Buddha, offering a full multi-track audio. Why didn't I just press download? Oh, that looks good. It looks good so far. Version 5 notation editor. Oh, that's cool. Control grouping. That's good to have. FX. Okay. Video. Oh, that's good. So you get the. Oh, that's very good. I use it on my Mac. I'd say it's still okay on Windows. Yeah, I'm using Windows, as you can tell. Automation. Yeah, I mean, download Reaper cost not so much. I thought it was free. I thought it was free. Download and evaluate Reaper for free. Download Reaper below for free. Fully functional 60-day evaluation. But how much does it cost? I mean, it's not for 60 days, and then you gotta pay, I guess, right? How much? How much is it? Let me see how much. $60? That's not bad. That's a game, you know. That's not bad. There's only one version of Reaper. The license price depends on how you will use a new license. It includes free upgrades to Reaper version. It should be. Discount license is $60. Commercial license is $225. You may use the discount license if you're an individual and Reaper is only for your personal use, or you're an individual or business using Reaper commercially, or yearly gross revenue does not exceed $20,000, or you're an education. So if I make more than 20 grand using Reaper, I have to spend $225 on it. I'll check this out. Let me save this. Maybe save this. I'm gonna save saves. Save that real quick. Now I gotta open all games. Is there? Go to all games. So I can make sure I'm streaming when I start streaming. Yeah, I'm using a very old version of Ableton. I should just go and buy it because I think. Yeah, the personal version is free for 60 days, so I don't know if they... how does that work? You've had it longer than 60 days, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Let me know if you have. That way I can be like, yo. But yeah, I think I might upgrade my Ableton. I think I'm going to just go and buy it, because I think it's $100 for Ableton Pro, the latest version of Ableton Pro. So I'm like, I might do that. I might end up doing that, you know. Scrape up my little pennies, my little... Get all the cans and stuff and go to the recycling. I used to do that when I was in New York. Like oh yeah, man. Go into the machine and it go, and it smelled like a bum. It smelled like a bum. Kat Judah says, "Why you so early, man?" I don't know. Just decided. Well, actually, I had to test to see if this would work because I'm rendering a scene in Blender right now. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm rendering this is an intro of a video, and it's more of a test render to see what stuff looks like, see if there's any anomalies or anything. And I wanted to see if I could render this and stream at the same time, which I can because I am GPU rendering. Blenders is a cookie show. No, I wish it was. I'd be like all fat, be like, and now we will add the salt, and now sugar. Oh, I sound like Bill Cosby a little bit there. Sugar. And the pills go in there with Jello pudding. BM says, I haven't went on it in a good while. Yeah, check it out. It might be like, you got to pay now. You'll be like, oh, snap. It used to be good. Yeah, a musician slash studio friend of mine got me a copy of Bitwig, I think it's called. And I couldn't get into it. I was trying to mess with it. I was like, I don't... You know, some things are intuitive. Like, right off the bat, you're like, okay, I get it. This is like this. Or I get it. This is how you... Okay, yeah. Some things, like, I don't know. Because, like, when I first started doing music, I was doing it on... I was using Cakewalk. And Cakewalk is similar to Fruity Loops in that it's like a section... It's like... They use dots. It was like dot, 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 dot. And each dot represented a little sequence of whether it's drums... a drum pattern, a couple of chords, you know, whatever. So you'd link all the patterns together to make the music, right? So I was like, okay, that's how you do it. Now with Ableton and Pro Tools, same difference. You could be like, okay, I'm gonna just play the whole thing live, 5-minute song, bling bling, ding, whole thing, boom. Then you go back to one. Now it's the drums, boom. You know, it's not like little dots. You know, it's a little different. I mean, you can use Cakewalk that way too, but I didn't because I was not good. So I'll be like, pink, and then I go, okay, let me multiply that 5 times to fill out the measure. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But now I'm better. Now I'm doing video game soundtracks, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood, or something like that. But yeah, man, check out. See if Reaper is still good to you. Let me know. I mean, I'll download it and check it out. But I think eventually I'm gonna have to I have to figure out something because I have an old Inbox 2. I don't know why I stuttered right there. I have an old Inbox 2 that's hooked up to my Windows 7 laptop. That's what I'm doing it on. It's only Windows 7 because I ended up getting some kind of virus on that computer and I ended up wiping it and it restored it back to 7. Because it was 10 because it was the free update back when it was free. And I was like, yeah, I got Windows 10. I was like, yeah, it's good. And then, yeah, I reset my computer. Now it's back to 7. Which, I mean, my Ableton's so old it still works. So it doesn't matter. But, but yeah. But that's what I'm doing right now. What's today? Sunday. It's like, what's today? I'm doing a show. Yeah, 9 minutes, and the show will be on. Okay, change that back because. Let's see. Do I have everything? I got Mixer, Twitch. I should pull up all games. I should pull up YouTube. I never pull up YouTube. My channel to see what's going on there. Let's see here. It's R9cast. I have to change. Do it up here so y'all don't be getting all my passwords and stuff. You know what I mean? Sorry. This one right here. This one. I ain't got no passwords anyway. I ain't got no bandwidth anyway. Put it right here. Oh, what's his name? He was he used to be in chat. What's his name? Devon Terrell. He was cool. He's an up and coming artist. He's pretty good. I'll give him props for being propadocious. All right, so what is? I have no idea what's going on here. So it should be live streaming. Should be live. So let me do that. Live streaming. Live streaming. Yes, I'm streaming already now. What are you talking about? Stream now. I am streaming now. How dare you? Huh? There it is. There it is. Let me see what it sounds like. Yeah, it works. All right. I guess I'll leave YouTube open to chat. No, nobody ever goes to YouTube for chat because I'm not good. I'm not like one of them people who I'm not one of those YouTube podcasters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though I do the show, even though I do the podcast every week and it goes to YouTube, I don't never have that. It's double negative. Wouldn't. I never have it up. So I guess I'll have it up today. Today, mate. So I'll put that there. And I'm gonna stop the video so I'm not streaming 29 million things. Okay, we don't need you to be there. I'll be there. I just need to chat. I'll be there. I'll be there. There. That's how you say there. Just call my name. I'll be there. I don't ever do not that do. Don't ever not do that. Exactly. I like the triple negatives. I don't dislike never the triple negatives, of course, forever. I don't know where that one ended up, but you know that's how that's how it happens sometimes. You're just like, yeah. I'm gonna start the RTO. I'm gonna start the RTO. All games. All games. Now what I need to do is set this up. Hubris cast. I type slow. Kablam! I need to put this in a file so I don't have to frickin' type this every time. But I'm dumb. So let's start that up, Pilgrim. Boop, boop, boop. I guess it's starting. I guess it's working. I guess, oh, I have to open up all games because I want to hear it in all games. That's the whole thing. That's the trick. You see. Oof. Sorry. For some reason, I have a sore throat today. Whoa, that was loud. Jeez. Don't you hate it when all games is like blasting some hot garbage? There I am. I guess it's alright. That sounds decent. We'll leave that there. That and there. Dipping and tap though. That'll work. That's good. Good in the hood. We can put that under everything else. Nobody needs to see that. And we're good to go. So 4 minutes and we'll start. Anything y'all want to talk about before, or anything you want me to talk about during the show? Oh shoot! I just lost my. There it is. I lost my butt. Gotta have my butt. You know, it can't be like, yo, where the butt at? Butt's right there. Okay, I got the butt. I got the butt. I got the butt. I got the butt. Sorry, I like saying it. Don't hate. Congratulate. All right. But yeah, for some reason, a couple of weeks ago I had a sore throat, and then it turned to like a post-nasal drip, and then it went away. And it feels like the same thing, except it's not lasting as long or isn't as extreme. Extreme? It wasn't as bad as it was last time, so I'm good. But yeah, we will talk about Sony. Talk about Sony. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man. We're gonna talk about Sunset Overdrive. We're gonna talk about Last Jedi versus Avengers. I saw a thing on YouTube today. I was like, oh snap, which has to do with expectations, basically. What else? Oh, the Sony thing is the PS Classic, PlayStation Classic. That's what it's called. PlayStation Classic Mini. Talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about PS Now. Now better than it was. I said The Last Jedi versus the Avengers. What's the last one called? Infinity Gauntlet. Did I say Tetris? I might have said Tetris. You know what? I might have said it because I'm losing it. I'm losing it. My brain cells are eroding away. You know, I'm just as long as I know where I am and I don't get lost in my own house, I'll be like, where am I? Who are you? Then I'm good. If I'm like, oh yeah, you're Bridget. You don't have to remind me. You just talk. I know it's you. She smacked me through the internet. Locally, of course, because she just go through the network and smack me like that. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen one day. But you know, as long as I have a few faculties left, I'll be alright. Still got both eyes. I'm okay. Still got like Snap, Infinity War. Still got that. Still got that. They're talking about Bumblebee, and it was going to be set in the 80s. Look, they just need to reboot the Transformers. It's been long enough. When did the first Transformers movie come out? 2005, right? Dun dun dun. I'm thinking about the the animated movie which took place in 2005, but it came out in 86, I think. Like the year is 2005, far in the future of 2005. The Decepticons. Who did that voice? I gotta look. I hope he might pass away by now. I don't know, but that Transformers voice, you remember? The year. I can't do it. Anyway, it's time to do the show. I would play music, but I don't want to break anything because I got all this rendering and stuff happening. And I'm surprised that this is working. They need to be booted, not rebooted, says Kaichiro. Nah, I'm saying, look, Michael Bay could produce all he wants. Get some better writers and directors. That's all I'm saying. If the Russo brothers did a Transformers movie, that would be hotness. Russo brothers are the new, whatever you want, the best directors right now. Russo brothers are This is the R9 cast. Your Fish Blind Digital Coco Crystal Super Dope Show for Reservoir9.com, representing allgames.com. I'm Stephen D. Gibson, a.k.a. Esgee, a.k.a. Electron Bandit, aka Have Sore Throat. Yeah, I think I said all the things. And today we're gonna talk about Sony and Microsoft. I just said what we were gonna talk about, but I'm gonna say it again for all y'all that just tuning in. Sorry. PlayStation Classic, PlayStation Now, Xbox Game Pass, Play Anywhere, backwards compatibility, virility, Avengers versus Last Jedi. What else was there? I said other things. I just don't remember. You want to talk about Transformers real quick though? They just need to. They need to bring it back. They need to simplify it. The designs of the robots were too complicated. First of all, I understand what they were trying to do, but they didn't need it for it to be all that. Seeing all the gears and everything moving around. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a hint, take a cue from the original cartoon, right? It's like, that's like if you're a human or any other animal and you have exposed clear parts and you can see all the muscles and stuff. I mean, you can see the veins. That's about it. You know, you see a little bit, but not like, oh, look at all this, and you see all, then you see inside the eyes, and you know, you can't, when you look in somebody's eyes, you can't see the back of the eyeball and the little cones and stuff wiggling like, oh, you don't see all that, right? So why do we see it in Optimus Prime's face, huh? Why do we see all of with the face? Don't they have malleable metal on Cybertron? I believe they do. So what is all? It's just dumb. Oh, please, that is not Optimus Prime. Oh my God. Okay, let's pull this up. Let's pull this up real quick. Oh God, Tiger Claw. It's Hollywood. Hollywood's back. So this is supposed to be Optimus Prime. I mean, okay. It's better. Sure. I mean, I can hang with that. I have a question. Keju says they love to try to make everything realistic. I have a question. Here's my question. Transformers, right? They can scan an object, and nanobots, I don't know how it happens, but they can disguise themselves as, you know, a semi-truck. Whatever, you know? So, wouldn't that same technology allow them to not have scuffs and scrapes on the paint? Because the paint is part of the molecular structure of the Autobot, right? So they could be able to change color. They would, if they get a scratch, it would fill in like Iron Man's suit in the last Avengers movie in Infinity War, right? So why has he got all scuffed up on the ear part right there, huh? Why has he got scrapes on his head helmet? You know what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. He should be gorilla billy ding. Like when you watch a cartoon, right? There was no scrappies, only in the movie. But the movie was all over the place because it's like, oh, back in the cartoon, fools will get shot and it was just ricocheting off of fools like, pew, pew, pew. They were like, they're shooting at us. Prime, what do we do? Autobots, roll out. Right? Then the movie comes out, and then Megatron's like, you're dead, boosh, boosh. Or was it Starscream? Starscream went in there with Megatron. He was like, yo, boom, Ironhide, you're dead. Ratchet, was it Ratchet? I don't remember. Ratchet, you're dead. The ambulance dude that's like the clone of Ironhide, you're dead too. Boom, 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 shooting all these fools like, boom, one shot, you're dead. I'm like, hold up. I was been watching this cartoon for like 2 years, and they've been getting shot up all left and right. Nobody died. All of a sudden, Megatron, did Megatron eat some like super steroid energon cubes so that his plasma bullets are super strong that they can just, you know, cut Ironhide in half, and he go psh, and his foot goes up in the air like ping ping. I'm like, and then Galvatron just totally messes up Starscream like. I love the sounds when I like Optimus Prime's gun sound. They need to. That's what they need to do. They also need to emphasize more the transform that more better instead of how they kind of, you know, it was there but not as much. And Optimus Prime's gun sound, That is the juiciest gun sound. That's what they need to emulate. All that good stuff. There's a lot of things about nostalgia. Sound, sights, music, all these things. I mean, they got the voice. They got Peter Cullen, but still. And they got the, whatever his name. I forgot the Megatron. Starscream Megatron. What did he else do? I think he did Dr. Claw, and he did a lot of characters back in the day. But yeah, they have those guys. So just make everything else better. And you have the ability to write better movies. You know, I know that it's like, oh, Transformers, that's the movie. But like, wait, it's about the characters and stuff, right? That's how you're supposed to write a good movie, is the characters first. Then the story around the characters, then special effects and stuff. I mean, you could create and write a super fight, a special effects heavy scene, you know, choreographing and all that stuff. That's fine. Outside of actually writing, because all this is like, oh, this person says this person says that, then they fight for 20 minutes. That's fine. But as long as, and then you say who wins or whatever, you know, that's fine. So you can work on that stuff outside of character development, story, all that good stuff. That's the problem with the Transformers movies, is that they didn't care about the characters and all that stuff. They're just like, the robots rolling, what's going on, I don't know, Sam Witwicky. And there were some glimmers of like, oh, okay, I like how, oh, all right, yeah. But it was a snap. It was like, oh, wait, what, was that a good idea? I don't, and then it got stupid, confusing. I'm like, I didn't even see the last night. I didn't see the last one. What was it called? Last Night? I didn't see the last night. And the one before that, I don't remember the name. I saw it. I barely remember it. I know there was like another Transformer assassin dude come to kill her. I don't remember what it's about. So I'm like, man, just get back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Redo, like, if this is how they do a reboot, I'm good with it. If they do it like, okay, this is gonna be just like the first episode of Transformers, they're gonna crash onto Earth in their ship, and then it's gonna be like 10 million years later, and then, you know, Bumblebee, and I don't remember how. I guess the truck was driving on the highway, and then the probe scanned them, and then went back and gave it to Optimus. I don't remember how they actually got their shapes. I think that's how it happened, right? Thank you, Tiger Claw. Excuse. But anyway, hopefully it won't suck. Probably it will. You know how Transformer stuff goes. Just saying. So let's talk about Last Jedi versus Avengers real quick. Before we get into the good meaty stuff later. So I was watching a YouTube video. I think I was watching a couple YouTube videos. And I was like, oh, I kind of like The Last Jedi. I mean, sure, I can see how people might not like it, blah, 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 right? And then I watched the Red Letter Media critique of it. It's like 48 minutes long. And I said, oh. And then I watched another video today comparing the Avengers versus Last Jedi and how they both handle subverting expectations. That's the word. Subverting expectations. And so they compared the two. Like, this is how you use it, and this is how they did it. And I was like, oh. And now I realize why The Last Jedi kind of sucks. And it's not because it was a poorly made movie. It's mainly because it was the motivations were kind of dumb and stupid most of the time, and it felt like he was being submersive. He was trying to trying to drown. He's trying to subvert expectations just to do that, just to be like, oh, I don't want it to be the same, or, you know, I don't want it to be a clone of this like what J.J. Abrams did or whatever. So I was like, okay, I understand why he did it, but he didn't do it properly. And so they compare Last Jedi versus Infinity War in subverting expectations, because the expectation is like in The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker's the good guy. Kylo Ren is the bad guy, bad nephew. The New Order, they're bad guys. Not the Republic, the Resistance are the good guys, quote unquote good guys. So the good guys win, the bad guys lose, right? That's how it works. Sure, whatever. And you go over to Infinity War. Thanos is the bad guy. The Avengers are the good guys. Good guys always win. Blah blah blah. Right? You know how that goes. So Tiger Cloud says, let's see, Marvel will subvert expectations when the old lady that Captain Marvel punches isn't a Skrull. If she... Who's a shapeshifter in the Marvel universe? I was about to say Martian Manhunter, but then I was like, oh, that's not right. No, it has to be a Skrull. She has to be a Skrull. Or some type of shapeshifter. Not really a Skrull, but a shapeshifter. But a Skrull, probably. Oh, boy. What did Pace put in here? We're not talking about video games right now. I'll come back to that. Black Ops 4, Blackout, mobile announces every blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll come back to that. Tight Claw. But I didn't play Bobo. Bobo stands for Black Ops Blackout, if you guys didn't know. So Bobo is short. I didn't play Bobo. I saw a lot of videos on it. I was like, oh, snap, that looks okay. But I didn't play it. DBDBD. Kaiju says, half the time those YouTuber people are just a bunch of wankers that are mad at progressive movie themes. Stop trying to spoil. No. I mean, when I first saw Last Jedi, I was like, oh, that was cool. I like that. Why everybody so mad about Luke not being there, blah, 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 right? And I was like, it's not a big deal. But that actually wasn't the part where it was like, they didn't even say anything about that. It was other things that, like, made it, like, dumb. Like, what's her name? Rose's character should have been better. It was like, she started off like a good character, like no nonsense. She's like, trying to steal the escape pod. What's wrong with you, fool? Right? And she could have been a good character, but then she went off, and then it was like, oh, she started doing stupid things. She tried to save Finn. I was like, Finn was useless. Freaking what her name is? Freaking. Wow. See what I'm saying? I'm losing it. I have a man. Okay. Rey, useless, pretty much. Luke, he did something. It's like a lot of people would. I think Holdo was the most useful character in the whole movie, but I didn't like her character. And so I was like, oh man, I didn't like her character. She was like arrogant too, but she actually knew what she was doing. But still, she still put off that musk, that arrogant musk, the hubris. She must work for. Okay, I'm gonna stop. And so I was like, yeah, that was the best part. And then you think about, okay, what other good parts were, like, as far as like just space battles, spaceships, what were good parts? I mean, the hyperspace thing, the jump to light speed, jammy jam, that was the best part. That's like one of the best parts in a lot of Star Wars movies. Still doesn't negate all of the stuff. Kaiju says, yeah, that movie was made shitty because they didn't know how to hide the messages well, while at the same time entertaining. Well, I don't think it was like, that's why I take the distinguishing. That's why I separate the made. When you say made shitty, I'll disagree with you, because the way it was as a film, as an object, as a motion picture, you know, how it was put together, pacing, editing, music, effects, all that was beautiful, looked great. But part of making a film is writing it, you know, and a lot of the writing, the main problem with The Last Jedi is the writing, and within the writing is the motivations of the characters, which create all the problems. Hello, Neptune Man 05. Hello, thanks for showing up. Preach. Kaiju says, look good, but No, the edit was bad. The directing was bad. Directing was okay, but I think it was the pace was bad too. The pace, pace is always bad. Oh, you mean the pace of the movie? I thought you were talking about pace. Taika says, SG, it's too easy. Everybody thinks that, but I know Marvel is playing playing a fast one on everyone. Bobo is a pretty bad acronym. I don't care, Sully. Bobo is what it is. Bobo. You say COD, I say Bobo. COD, Bobo. That's what it is. You could say Black Ops, Blackout all you want with all them syllables. So it's so dumb because of the same amount of syllables. That's how I am stupid. I am stupid. Not you, so I'm stupid. Pace says, tell you to join all games Discord. Stop being a vagina. He said the P word. Like Trump. Pace and Trump say the same words. Yeah, Kajiro, you go in Discord if you want. You could put pictures and stuff. It's pretty cool. Kajiro says the comedy was out of place, and that's part of the directing, pacing, and editing. Yeah, I agree. Well, editing and pacing are kind of one and the same. Yeah. Directing, yeah, I agree. But it does go back to the writing. Like, if you have a crap script, all these actors in this movie in The Last Jedi were good actors. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of any actor that was in The Last Jedi that is a bad actor. They're all good actors, right? So why weren't the performances good? Because the writing wasn't that good. It was the writing it wasn't per se the actual words, like the English was bad or something, bad grammars. No, it was just the writing was bad because it didn't make sense. It was like, like Rose as a character started off okay because she was new, but then Finn was if you think about what Finn is an ex-stormtrooper, the ex-enemy. He was the enemy, and then he said, oh man, so he's an ex-stormtrooper who's now part of the resistance. So I mean, he's trying to get the beacon away from the ship so that he can save her, so that she's, instead of explaining that, they have to go through, he gets shocked and I'm like, okay, that was all right. That wasn't the worst thing that happened in the movie, but I was like, that was just unnecessary. And when you look at the Avengers, on the other hand, Infinity War, they're at the Sanctum Sanctorum or whatever, Doctor Strange's crib, right? And they're just talking. Doom, boom, 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 boom. They're not like doing all this gag stuff with, I mean, maybe one, like the cape smacked Tony's leg down real quick. It was like a 1 second. Boom. It wasn't like a 2 minute, 3 minute, orchestrated altercation type of. I'm like, unnecessary. That's why that movie was so long. What was it, 2 hours and 45 minutes? Didn't have to be that long. You need to cut the fat. Kajiro says, I have to see the script to make that judgment. I saw the movie and it was a mess, but I could see what they were trying to do, and I liked it. Yeah, what you see on the screen isn't always the full script. True. I mean, you're talking about the descriptive stuff that sets up the scene. Yeah, I don't mind the length of a movie if there isn't any fat in it, if there isn't any wasted time. So, The Last Jedi, and they did cut some stuff from The Last Jedi, which was fine. I think they made a lot of just ill-fated choices. Like, they didn't show the reaction of Luke that Han died and stuff like, you know what I mean? They filmed it. They just didn't put it in the movie. So I'm like, okay. Chewie was barely in the movie. Chewbacca is he's part of the old guard. He's been in all the movies. Hasn't he? Oh, he wasn't in Phantom Menace. And he wasn't in Attack. Was he in Attack of the Clones? I don't remember. I know he was in Revenge of the Sith. I think. But he's been alive the longest, I think, except for Yoda. Yoda's the oldest. So what? Anyway. So let's get more specific. Okay, so in The Last Jedi, let's see. I think we kind of touched on Finn's stuff where they didn't. I think a lot of the characters were underutilized, and when they did kind of focus on them, they didn't. It wasn't like Kaijiro said. We see what they're trying to do, but it wasn't executed properly, and the motivations got a little distorted and twisted. Like, for instance, this was an example of one of the videos I saw, where Finn and Rose are in a jail cell with Benicio del Toro, right? And he's like, he's doing all that, right? And like he's like, hey, their first inclination is like he's a criminal, we can't trust him, right? Okay, yeah, sure. But then he like breaks down and is like, all right, let's go. That's a code breaker, let's go. And I guess they assume. Well, I mean, that's what he said. Ryan Johnson sets it up. He gives back the medallion to Rose, you know, saying, there you go, thank you. And he goes, you know, he's like, oh, he's actually a kind of a good guy. No, he's not. He's an opportunist, you know. And I guess that's subverting expectations when he double crosses them and turns them in, and then the First Order is blasting the escape shuttles, and then Holo does the thing, you know. So I see where all these things connect, but it's like it makes Benicio del Toro's character a little less, even though it's goofy and corny, a little less likable, if you will. You know, he's in the class of Han Solo, even though you like Han Solo more, even though Han Solo's a cold-blooded killer. He shot first twice, as far as we know, probably more. But he shot first twice. But you still liked him better. Benicio del Toro has the stutter. I forgot what his freaking character's name is. He has a stutter, which automatically kind of, you know, all right, he's just something with this guy, right? You know, not that I'm saying people with stutters have issues. I mean, they have neurological issues. That's what a stutter is, but moral. But as far as a person who knows what's up, Benicio del Toro's character in The Last Jedi is the one whose, I guess, eyes are the most open, where he's like, yo, man, I just trying to survive. I'm just making money. You know what I mean? I'm just, you want to blow, y'all blow each other up, I'm going to get paid, son. You know. Opti, what up, Opti? It's been a minute, man. I'm glad you found me back again. I'm here every Sunday, so, you know, and you can come through every Sunday at 7, boom, boom, boom. We'll be talking stuff. Right now, we're talking about Last Jedi versus Avengers Infinity War. Kaiju says those ice wolves were cute, but they didn't feel like Star Wars aliens. Most of the aliens in the new Star Wars just don't look right to me. They have a lack of color, and most are just CG. I think the problem with, I think I agree and I disagree. Opti says, can you provide more stream quality options? 1080p is eating up my bandwidth. I have no idea how to do that on Twitch. Let me see. I don't even, is there a way I can set that up? I don't know how to, I just have it set to stream. I guess if you change it from source, I would say do that. Let me see. Quality, yeah, source is 1080p. Put it on auto, and hopefully it'll bump down for you. But yeah, source is 1080p. So auto should bump it down if it's maybe you have it on auto and your internet's just so good that, you know, it'll put it on auto. But I don't know how to. Is there a way to adjust it down to give you more options? Because like I said, I'm screaming at advanced. Let's see. Nope. Yeah. I don't know. Auto doesn't bump it down. I don't know how Twitch does it. I think it has to do with your internet, actually. Once again, I don't know, but I can't do that. I can't do nothing right now. I'll look into it for next week though, definitely. But if there's an option that I can do that, then I'll definitely do that. If you're having a problem there, you can go to Mixer, or you can go to YouTube. R9Cast on YouTube. I'm streaming there too. But I would just say like stop the video stream on Twitch and just stay in chat since you're there already. Or you can go into Mixer chat. I got Mixer chat up too. Or you can go to Discord. The All Games Discord, allgames.com/live, where I'm there too. I'm everywhere. I got mid chats. Tiger Claw says, I think you need to become a Twitch partner. Once you get the partner status, they can add options for different resolutions. Oh, well, I'm not a partner. So there you go. I'm not a partner because I'm not good enough. I only have like 2 followers. I don't know how many followers I have. I don't even know. I don't look at all the stats on Twitch and stuff. I have 37 followers. Yeah, but 37. Oh. You know, they're not going to look. They're like, oh, you got 37. Get out of here. I got 5 people watching. Get out of here. Don't waste our time. Don't waste our time with your little pot, whatever you do on Twitch. Don't waste our time. Anyway, back to the movies. So, Finn was underutilized, and I'm like, how can they utilize Finn in a way that makes more sense, and they don't have to go to Canto. Canto Bight is very contentious series of events in that movie, because I'm like, why did they go there? They went there, they failed. Okay, and that's the thing. It's about failure. So both these movies, Last Jedi and Infinity War, are about failure, about the good guys failing, about the good guys losing, right? And this was the main thing about like the videos I watched. Well, the Red Letter Media was like, it was like Last Jedi is more like a comedy than it is a sci-fi action, whatever, because it was a comedy of errors, basically. Like Finn and Rose trust this guy, double cross him. Uh-oh, you know, well, why'd that happen? You know, oh, what else? You know, Rey goes to get the hero to save the day, but the hero's like, nah, son, peace out. And she's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna leave. Like, she wasted her time going there. She got nothing accomplished. She changed Luke's mind or whatever. And then Yoda's there. What are you doing? This is all about failure. You gotta learn from your failures too. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, I get it. There are good messages in there, just not told the right way. Just not, no. Then it's, you know. And then you look at Infinity War, and the problem with The Last Jedi is like they were there, the lesson of failure and all that stuff, but it wasn't satisfying. As a viewer, you're like, I don't like how they treated Rey. I don't like how they treated Finn. I don't like how they treated freaking Poe. I don't like how they treated Luke. I don't like how well, Holdo, she needed to die because she was bad. I don't like Yoda was good. Kajuru says Yoda was fine because he was Yoda. He was like, yo, Lightning, what are you doing? Come on, son. Page turners they were not. You know what I mean? Kajuro says, I don't know how they're going to clean up Star Wars in episode 9. I have faith in J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams, as much as you don't like him, he is a better filmmaker than Rian Johnson. I'm going to say that straight up. Even though I liked Brick. Brick was dope. Looper, But J.J. Abrams has made better movies. He's made more movies. But his first movie was better than all of Rian Johnson's movies. His first movie was better than The Last Jedi. J.J. Abrams. It was Mission Impossible 3 was his first movie. Better than The Last Jedi. Debate me on that. Nobody can because everybody hates The Last Jedi. Burr says, it turns out Captain Marvel is just an asshole that goes around punching old ladies. She's actually the villain. Now that would be great. That would be cool. Like she's having like mental images and everybody is a Skrull. She's just punching old ladies and babies like in the crib. Just like, it's a Skrull baby. I'm not left-handed, so that's a better punch. Opti says, Kaiju, you playing Firewall Zero on the PSVR? How dare you talk about that? We're not ready. We're not there yet. So it's about the characters failing and how the two movies treat the characters and how the audience perceives the emotion that is supposed to be there. It's either there or isn't within the performances, writing, so on and so forth. So in The Last Jedi, like what was the oh man part? What part? I think the best part was when Snoke got sliced in half. You're like, right? Like, oh. Katie says wrong. I never said I didn't like him. I think Super 8 is shy compared to the Block. I think he's a good with the full cast. He knows how to write and direct for many characters. You know what I meant, Kaijudo. That's exactly what I was referring to. But you know what I mean, Kaijudo. You don't like him as much as who directed the Attack the Block? Was it the same guy who did the Shaun of the Dead and stuff? I don't remember. But anyway, but yeah. So like the emotion in in The Last Jedi, like I said, when Snoke got cut in half, I was like, oh, okay, all right, like that part and the light speed part. That was it. Everything else was like, okay, sure. And then they even did which I hate, and I hate this part about Solo too. But we're not gonna talk about Solo today. Probably talk about that next week. But when Chewie and the Millennium Falcon show up on Crate, and they're flying through the red crystal caverns or whatever, and then they start playing the Return of the Jedi theme, Attack on the Death Star 2 or whatever it is. I'm like, Joe Cornish. Okay, he's a master editor. Okay. That's a cool thing about tangent. That's a cool thing about like editors or cinematographers that step into the director role. It's like, especially I think editors are really I think editors more so than cinematographers, but cinematographers are good too. I'm not gonna say, and effects people like Joe Johnston was I believe he was an effects guy on Star Wars before he did like Jumanji and what did he do? The I was about to say Astroneer, Rocketeer, and Captain America, the First Avenger. But he was one of the effects guy under John Dykstra, I believe. I think back doing the original trilogy movies, doing the special effects. Yeah, no, Attack the Block is great. Attack the Block is great, and honestly, I have to go back and watch it. I think it probably is better than Super 8 in that it's more original. I think the acting is probably better. Because the problem with Super 8 is that it's too Spielbergian. It's too much like, ugh, And I realized that I'm like, I mean, I liked it, but, And I think at the time I was like, I want more Spielberg movies. Then I realized, nah, I don't. I just want good movies. And then the Russo brothers came and was like, that's more like it, right? That's what I want. Yeah. So I'm looking at J.J. Abrams movies. I'm like, okay, they're good, but it feels like he makes safe movies. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the issues with his movies, even though they're good and they're cool and there's a lot of cool set pieces and is written well, whatever. It still feels a little safe. In some way, it feels safe. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Last Jedi, Infinity War. So, still on Last Jedi. Like, where was the emotion? Besides Holdo dying and Snoke dying, where was all the emotional, like, oh, man, failure, oh, man. Not when Yoda showed up, even though that was a cool part. There was no, like, oh, wow, I can't believe he said that. Or, what else? It was like, it was all kind of, I'm trying to think, like, in the beginning of the movie, they're escaping, and then they blow up, and then her sister dies. But it was like, oh, man, she's dead. All the bombers are dead. But it didn't feel emotionally boom. Tiger Claw says Spielberg did good with Ready Player One. It was all right. Ready Player One was more of a nostalgia trip. It wasn't like, oh, that's the masterpiece of no. It was a nostalgia trip, which gave it most of its power. It was the nostalgia of it. As far as characters, they're all right. It's okay. It's still Spielberg, but it's not. It's not anything crazy. I like when Spielberg does like rated R stuff, like Munich. Even though I didn't see the whole thing, but the one part I saw, I was like, "Yo, that's Spielberg right there." Okay, okay, that's all. So yeah, I was like, "Yo, that's a little, that's not big BFG right there. That's something different." Oh, had to lubricate. So anyway, Kaiju says Ready Player One was a good story, good message, but they failed with pop culture cameo stuff. Yeah. I think that was one of the problems. Like they hit on some areas, like when I think that instead of having the Gundam show up at the end, if Voltron showed up, I'd have been like, okay, that's better. Voltron's better than Gundam. I'm sorry, all you anime heads out. Even though Voltron technically is an anime, not to me though. Voltron's Voltron. It's separate. And I'm talking about old school Voltron. I'm not talking about this new Voltron, which is still good. I haven't watched. I missed like the last 2 seasons, but the first Voltron, full blazing sword. Wait, that way? No, that way. There it is. And I'm talking about the Lion Voltron. I'm not talking about the stupid car Voltron, even though I had one set of the car. See, that was an evil trick by the toy manufacturers. They were like, hey, get the new car Voltron, the vehicle Voltron. And they had 3 separate sets of, each thing had 3, I think it had 3 vehicles per set. So it was like 9, multiplication. It was 9 vehicles. I only had 1. I had the top with it had a submarine and a plane. The plane was dope, though. The little red plane. I don't know what happened to those freaking toys. I had so many G.I. Joes. I had that Voltron. I had the original Lion Voltron from Japan. Die-cast metal. You put it together, and it's barely standing up, and it weighed like 20 pounds. It was so good. It would be worth so much money right now. But I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot boy. I'm an idiot person, and I don't know what happened to them. I did keep all my video game stuff, but all my toys, most of my toys, I still have a big box of Transformer stuff, but anyway. Kaiju says, like, they use the same characters more than once, but I guess it was a budget thing. Yeah, but it's not. But here's the thing. It's not their fault. I don't know if it was budget, because a lot of it was CG. They couldn't get Chucky and Iron Giant. Plus, Steven Spielberg didn't want to use E.T. I think E.T. would have gave the movie. Yeah, they should have put E.T. in there. Just like a quick little boom. Just a little Easter egg cameo type of thing. That would have been dope. Tycla says some fans wanted Ultraman instead of Iron Giant during the final battle scenes. Nah, man. Voltron. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Golly, I had a thing in my brain and I just lost it. Oh, the part in Ready Player One that made the movie awesome and great was the second mission, the Shining part. I was like, what? I was like, oh, hell to the no. I was so... I'm not even a huge fan of The Shining. I've seen The Shining. I don't know it bit by bit, piece by bit, but I've seen it enough times to know, okay, that's the part in the snow with Danny freezes, and that's the, here's Johnny, and the kid with the riding and twin girls, and then Catman Carruthers like, hey, ice cream, all that stuff. But when that showed up, I was like, yo, this is just, it looked just like The Shining. I'm like, how in the hell did they just use the movie for, like, no, they couldn't have done that because it's like totally different camera angles. So I'm like, how? It had to be CG. It had to be CG. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, that looks so exactly like the movie that I remember seeing. It just, and it honestly, it's still part of the nostalgia part. It's still part of the part of the nostalgia. Yeah, the old lady wasn't the same. I know that, but there's only so much they can do at PG-13. They can't show all the stuff, But and I do I don't remember exactly how she looked when she eventually transformed into the zombie lady. Because at first she was all, and then she was like, but no, Ultraman would have been horrible. Iron Giant was a good choice for that, but like I said, at the end when the Asian dude turned into to a Gundam, I was like, sure, fine, that's okay, whatever. But Voltron should have been up in there too. Yeah, that'd have been dope. Anyway, moving back to The Last Jedi versus Infinity War. So, like I said, Last Jedi didn't have the emotional moments that make you connect to the characters and all that stuff. It was just like, why did Luke do? Why everybody's like, what the hell? That character wouldn't do that. That's like what everybody was saying, and that's a fail. That's a fail on the writer, Rian Johnson. And I'm not gonna say it's a fail on the actors because the actors are just reading what is written. I don't think the acting was bad either. It was just the writing wasn't right. And I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it was flawed. It was not. It wasn't convincing to the audience as far as motivation for the characters that we're watching on screen. The characters that we know. The only character that they had leeway with was Rose because she was brand new, and Benicio del Toro, but whatever. Everybody else was, we already know you. We have history about what you are as a character. So when you subvert expectations, there needs to be explanation. Now you can explain things, and hopefully J.J. Abrams will explain at least the Luke side of that. You know, more so. Like a lot of people are like, oh, this is why, because he was in shock. Blah blah blah. This is why he did it, or he was a failure at being a Jedi master to train. He couldn't train, so he just gave up and hid away. Blah blah blah. Whatever, you know. He's gonna explain why Luke's motivation. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's what the people want. People want to know why Luke did what he did. J.J. Abrams' job in Episode 9 is to explain Luke. Explain yourself, Luke. J.J. be like, this motherflower Rian Johnson got me. This is how J.J. Abrams writes scripts. This motherflower Rian Johnson got me. Now I gotta go. I gotta fix all this shit. Thanks, Ryan. That's what's gonna happen. Kachuto says, same old Luke would have pleased the fans, but it wouldn't have made the character more. True, but it's about explaining. It's about motivations, character motivations to explain the actions, right? So they didn't explain why Luke. They didn't explain. They just figured that people would, figure it out. Or he didn't treat the audience as idiots, which I appreciate. But at the same time, something like that you need to kind of get deep into. One thing I did like about The Last Jedi is how he implemented this from a certain point of view theme from Return of the Jedi in this movie. So Luke tells the story first, and he says blah blah blah, and this is how it happened. Well, he didn't say this is how it happened. It's like this is what happened, and then they show what happened, right? Luke's like no, and Kylo's bringing the roof down, right? And then the second time, Kylo explains how it happened from a certain point of view. From his point of view, my crazy master trying to kill me in my sleep. Yes, I know, Kaiju. I know. And yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. But and then the third is the actual truth, I guess, where he's like, oh, and then they realize, but too late, and then Kylo thinks he's gonna kill him, but Luke's like, no, whatever. So I like that how he did that, but that just encapsulated within itself as an example of what a certain point of view is, and that goes back to Kenobi. He's the one who kind of. And I was like, okay, all right, that was good. That part was good. Hyperspace and Snoke dying and Yoda, good parts of this movie. Everything else, they will explain in the books like they always do. I hate that. I'm never gonna read the books. If they explain the books, I hate them. Star Wars movies are supposed to be a slideshow on the timeline. The books are the full timeline. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, so Infinity War. So in Infinity War, the main character in Infinity War is Thanos. He's not a protagonist, even though he thinks he is. He's not a protagonist. Pythagorean theorem. He's not a protagonist. He is, quote unquote, the bad guy. But we, as members of the audience watching this film, get to know him. And it's just within this film. It's not like we have a past, a long history of Thanos movies. He's been in a couple here and there, being evil purple dude sitting in a chair. That's it. So we have no context of his character at all, basically. We just know he wants to kill everything. So within this movie, they do such a good job with the acting of a CG model, by the way, even though it was motion capture. Performance capture, that within the first moments of the movie where Loki, where he has Thor and he's blasting Thor with the power ring or whatever in his brain, and Loki's like, okay, kill him, and Thanos was like, what? He's your brother, yo. That first reaction is a whole deep insight into Thanos. It's like, wait, he's not a total maniac, a thoughtless bad guy. He's an actual quote unquote person. His ideas of how to fix things are twisted. He's a sociopath, most definitely. I don't think he's a psychopath, but he's just like, yo, we kill half of the thing, it's fixed. This is what happened in my planet. I'm going to fix the universe. I've lived through it. So it's like all the things that they present to Thanos' backstory and history make sense as to his motivation in the movie. And none of it is like, oh, Thanos, that was dumb. Why Thanos do that? First, we don't have that much history, but nothing contradicts itself within the movie. It's like, oh, he did this, but he do that. He cries, because, Gamora, whatever. All these things make sense. And all these things create a character that like, oh, I can empathize with him, even though he's still a crazy person in a way. And what he's doing is wrong. I can still, if I was in his shoes, and a sociopath, powerful, whatchamacallit, I can't remember the word, then it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I get how Thanos would be Thanos in this, and then everybody else is trying to stop him because, like, no, you can't just kill. And it's like, the way he's doing it, it's like, I'm not choosing, it's just random lottery. It's arbitrary people. Whoever's gonna die, gonna die. I have no saying it. Click. And the heroes lose hard, and they lost by, they almost won. But Star-Lord, maybe you could say Star-Lord overreacted, but if you look at Star-Lord's his journey, right? When he went with Ego, and then he found out Ego killed his mom, he freaked out, right? He freaked out. He's like, what? And it's kind of the same thing happening again. It's like history repeating himself. In Star-Lord's eyes, Gamora dying by the hands of Thanos is kind of just as bad as Ego killing his mom. And that's why he would have overreacted. I get that. And that's why that scene is so hard to watch, because I'm like, oh, it was so close. The good guys almost won. But that was the genius. I say genius very loosely. The loose genius of what the Russo brothers did. Where it's like, oh, man, they almost had it, and then they lose. And then Thanos is like holding Tony Stark's head. Like, yeah. Like he's a little boy, a little puppy or something. Yeah. I respect you, Stark. Better luck's next time he mushes him. Like, guy, he didn't mush him. But I'm just saying, it would have been funny if he did that. Like, get out of here. But he didn't, because he respects. I respect you, Stark. Hopefully you'll be around when I click my fingers. But the difference is that every death, quote unquote death in Infinity War, is felt it's felt more because the history of the characters is there more so than the deaths in Last Jedi. Like Holdo dies, you just met her, you don't like her anyway. Luke died. I think Luke was the main one, but the way he died, people didn't like it. Who else died in the Last Jedi? Well, a lot of people died. They just didn't show. Oh, Admiral Akbar dies. Come on, son. Why did he have to die? That's why he went through a list. It's like, oh, do we got to kill this person? We got to make this one the opposite of what people expect. I'm like, he just made a movie that was just to be the opposite of what people wanted. That's what he literally made. And then I'm looking at the Infinity War. I'm like, how does the Russo brothers do it? Because it's okay. Infinity War starts. Thanos and his boys and girl, they're there. They're like, yo, where's the Tesseract, son? And he's killing everybody he kills. Idris Elba, like which is cool because Idris Elba, he sucked the Hulk away real quick. I was like, oh, okay, that was hero. So when he died, it was like, oh man, dang, that sucks. And it isn't like, what? Wait, what just happened? It's not like that. It's like, oh man, dang it, he was a hero when he saved the Hulk, man. Dang it, Thanos, why you gotta do that? You know? And then when he killed, well, spoilers obviously, but when he killed Loki, you know, Thor was like, no. He's like, he's not coming back this time. I was like, okay, that's, ouch. I mean, I think that the part where Loki thought he could take Thanos. I mean, us as the audience know that he probably couldn't, but Loki as a god thinks he can, and that's kind of, you know, once again, you got to take into account what each character is and how they may be thinking and why and the motivation. And that's why Loki is like, yeah, I gotta take it. I'm a god, son. I'm a god, son. I'm a god, son. And so it was like, bring out my knives. You know? So nothing doesn't make nothing. There isn't. Everything makes sense in Infinity War as far as motivations and actions and stuff. And that's why Infinity War subverted expectations as far as both movies are basically the same premise. The heroes fail. That's the premise. In The Last Jedi, the heroes fail, but they escape. Barely. With barely 20 people left out of 400 or whatever they were. In Infinity War, they fail. They fail so hard that we're going back to the 90s in the next movie. That's how hard they fail. They're like, okay, Infinity War was hard. We got to go back and fill in some gaps. And that's where I'm like, wait a second. How they going to explain these 6 years that, well, from Infinity War to now? I mean, the first Avengers movie to now, where Captain Marvel is. I guess she's probably off in the cosmic place or something. That okay? They can explain it. Of course, they're Marvel. They can explain it. It's not hard. But yeah. I guess they I guess they can things. I have confidence in Marvel that, you know, look, I have confidence in Marvel because they made Sony made a Spider-Man movie, and it was great. Not because Sony made it, because Marvel made it and Sony put their name on it. That's what happened. So I don't think, I'm not gonna say Marvel cannot make a bad movie. I'm just saying they know what they're doing as far as, you know, putting all these characters in the same universe and making it work and making it happen. So back to Infinity War. So, you know, Thor loses Loki. Thor's like, you know, so now what's Thor's motivation? Thor's motivation is, I need to get a hammer. I need to get a new hammer. I got to go to the place to get a new hammer. That's his mission. So he's going to take the pod, Rocket, and Groot, go get me a new hammer. That was Thor's mission, right? So Thor goes off, do that. Guardians are going to Earth, I believe, to meet up with the. I don't remember exactly why they were going to Earth, but they were going to Earth. They run into Tony Stark and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, because Tony Stark, Spider-Man, gonna save Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange has a time stone, and Thanos' dudes kidnapped him to take him to Titan. So, motivation: Tony and Spider-Man need to rescue Tony Stark. They need to get the time stone so that Thanos can't get it. And meanwhile, Cap and the rest of the Avengers are going to get Vision because he has the Soul Stone. Is that the Soul Stone in his head? I think. And so I'm like, all right. So everybody has their like, okay, y'all are doing this. Y'all are doing this. Thor's doing this. This is kind of cool. Everybody's got their own little mission going on. This is dope. Kajiro in chat says, I think Captain Marvel either leaves or they put her in some cryo sleep and that beeper wakes her up, or maybe she just doesn't age like other people. True. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe she's yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I'm sure they'll explain that, or it might be explained in the comics. And I have no knowledge on Captain Marvel, only from what I've heard. But anyway, so everybody has their motivation. Everybody has their mission. Everybody knows what's up. This is what they're doing, and it makes sense. Thor needs a new hammer because his sister just messed up his old hammer. Tony, excuse me, Tony and Spider-Man going to save Doctor Strange because it's time stone, and Cap and the rest are going to back up Vision, and Scarlet is there. Scarlett Johansson. I mean Scarlet Witch. Both of them actually. Vision is the third eye stone. Pretty much. But so okay, yeah, boom. Right, and so things happen, boom, 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 boom. It's like I'm trying to go through the movie. Like, where was there a bad decision anywhere besides Star-Lord losing it, right? But like I said, I explained why it's still cringy because they were so close at winning. They were so close to winning, but it's still the motivation of his character emotionally makes sense. It's not like he would have never done that. Of course, he would have. That's exactly what he would have done because it's a simile. It's very similar to what happens to his mom. Blah blah. I explained it. So, you know, I mean, that's the one part in the movie that I was like, but it's fine because it's earned, if you will. You know, they go to Titan. Strange, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. They go to Titan because they don't want to take. You know, Tony says no. We did this already before in New York, destroyed New York, nothing happened. So we're going to take the fight to him. We're not going to wait for him. We're going to take the fight to him. Blah. Catch it by surprise. Good. Kaiju says, and that Thor hammer was a axe. I hate to see how you do repairs if you use an axe to hammer a nail. Oh, actually it was both. Like one side was a hammer and one side was an axe. That's what I thought first, but then I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, it's a hammer on one side and an axe on the other." Yeah, look at it and go back and look at it again. So actually, I could probably pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Thor's hammer in Infinity War. There you go. There it is. Okay. See no stupid kid. All right, so I'll pull up this picture. Picture. Oh, that's small. Can we get bigger? Can we get a little bigger? Oh, well, let me see. Yeah. Wait, why is this so small? What the hell's going on here? Let me just adjust the viewing. Oh, let me see if there's a better. This is just like toys and stuff, but it's still the same. It's still toys. Man, that's small. Okay, whatever. Let's see. But you can see where. See if there's a better. That's a good. That's not good. It's not a good either. Why is there all toys? Were there no movie images here? My God. La 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 la. Okay, stop. Drop. shut them down, open up. Let me see. I guess I'll just pull this one up. This is just a. But anyway, this is the looks like the toy too. But see, one side's a hammer, one side's an axe. So, but yeah, so that's what. Like I say, oh, it's a hammer. It's both. But it was cool. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. But what the so they go to Titan to fight Thanos on Titan because Tony convinces Strange, like, yo, we gotta take it to him, but which makes sense, you know, like, oh yeah, okay, you're right, yeah. Whatchamacallit, they're trying to take the stone, I'm gonna say stone out of Vision's head, but they can't do it there. Bruce can't do it there, so they have to go to Wakanda. Like Captain America's like, I know a guy, I know someone. Yeah, that's how he sounds. And then they go to Wakanda, blah blah blah. Sister tries to do it. I guess she got most of it out. I don't know. I guess Vision's gonna turn into the black and white Vision. I forgot what he's called after he changed his color, but he's a little different after that. Excuse me. So the motivation still works, right? They go to Wakanda. Why would they go to Wakanda? Because they're trying to save Vision. They're trying to get the thing out of Vision so they can destroy the stone so Thanos can't get the stone. Still, everything still makes sense, right? So they're there. Thor's going to get his axe hammer. You know, that happens. The Guardians, before the Guardians show up, they actually went to nowhere again to get the reality stone from the Collector, and that's where they meet up with Thanos. That's where Gamora gets taken. So everything makes sense. Everything is all lined up, and there's like 30 characters in this movie, and I'm like, how is this working? These guys are really good, because I'm like, okay, there has to be something. I mean, nope. Everything seems to be. The only thing that is bad about Infinity War was the compositing of Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster armor. That is the only thing. That is the only thing that's wrong with that movie. That looks so goofy. Besides that, everything is like, yep, that's all right, yep. So Thor gets his hammer. Everybody's on Titan. Well, Tony Stark and them, the Guardians, they all meet up. They go to Titan. And Cap and the crew is in Wakanda, right? So Thor shows up in Wakanda, Wakanda, and that was bad. That was dope. I was like, oh, when Thor showed up. No, I never thought that Thor would be like, yo, Thor's bad. You know what I mean? But when he showed up and just was like, gaboosh, gablash, I was like, oh. Even though I've seen it before, right? Even though you've seen Thor do that in Thor Ragnarok, it still felt epic. You still felt the like, oh, wow. Thor's just like smacking fools, yo. How do you do that when it's already been done before? When you've already seen his power? When you've already seen Thor the Lightning God? How do you capture that moment again? They did it. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. So boom, boom, should have gone for the head snap, right? It's like, oh. And I skipped all the fight on Titan. That was whatever. And that was the closest they got to getting that glove off and defeating him. But, you know, Star-Lord and all that stuff. And that was a good plan, but, you know, he messed up his own plan, so what are you going to do? What is this? Bringing Super Mario. I gotta read this. I gotta read this. What does it say? And Nintendo surprise fans, they would bring Super Mario Bros. U to Nintendo Switch. I don't care. I already knew that news, and I don't care. Anyway, so everything in Infinity War was boom, boom, boom. We watched it. We watched it behind the scenes. They're cool. They don't really give you too much extra. I think they had some alternate deleted scenes, but it wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, that should have been in the movie. No, it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Just alternate things, or like maybe a couple, like 10 seconds here or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, and then he snaps his finger, and then at the end he's like, then little baby Gamora is there, an illusion or whatever, and she's like, "Did you do it?" He's like, "Yes." Was it worth it? And I forgot what did he say. No, I don't remember what he said. But Dad was like, whew. I left that theater like, man, that's wow. It's like the feeling when you leave a theater after a good movie. It's like, golly. And the thing about that is that it's a good movie where the heroes don't win. How do you move? How do you leave a theater feeling good about what you just watched when the ending was so antithesis? It's the antithesis of what it should, like the bad guys lost hard, and Thanos is smiling, looking off like, I did it. Not like with teeth, but a little smirk. I'm like, wow, okay. And it says Thanos will be back. I was like, okay, that's a good one. I like that. So it's like, bottom line is that both pictures were about heroes. The heroes failure, learn from your mistake. Well, Jedi was learn from your mistakes. Infinity War was they just failed. There was no lesson. They were trying to win and they failed. The difference is Infinity War had no issues with characters, motivation, all these things. It all made sense. Going this, how the character, nothing was like, hey, he wouldn't have done. Last Jedi was all about making no sense. The characters a lot of the characters' motivations didn't make no sense. It just didn't make any sense. It was just bad in that respect, and that's where I'm like, such a waste of a good, I guess, premise, or it's like, oh man, that's a good idea. Execution, it failed in execution, and it's really it's the motivation stuff. But anyway, I mean, that was the whole thing that I wanted to talk about as far as those two pictures go. And movie talk is over. Now let's talk about Sony. Sony, let me on Sony, Sony. So Sony decided to be once again original. Once again, Sony decides to bite. Not once, but twice. Let me explain. So, a year ago or something, a year, 2 years, Nintendo puts out the Nintendo Mini, Classic Mini, whatever they call it. It's a little Nintendo NES. Like, oh, that's cute. Then they do the Super NES. Oh, yeah, it's small. It's got games loaded on. Yeah, it's a good idea. People bought it. It was good, yeah. Guess what Sony's doing? The PlayStation Classic Mini, whatever it's called. And I'm like, it looks cool because it's like a little mini PlayStation, but here's the main problem with the PlayStation Classic. The problem with the PlayStation Classic is that the jump from pixel-based 2D type games, even super scalar games, to polygonal 3D was hard and horrible. The graphics were horrible. The ugliest games, some of the ugliest games are of that era. Janky, ugly, not pleasant to look at. That's why the Saturn kind of sucked a lot, among other reasons. So when you say, hey, we're making a PlayStation Classic, Really? Those games? I mean, that's not Super Mario Brothers. That's not Pac-Man. Not Pac-Man. But is it okay? It's a classic, but are those games really? Really? So it's like, okay, Sony wants to jump on the bandwagon, biting as they do. That's the MO. That's part of the MO. It's like, oh man, that was a good idea, and they made a lot of money. Let's do the same thing. It's like, why didn't you do this 10 years ago? Why are you doing it now? Oh, because Nintendo's doing it. That's why? Because Sega's trying to do it. Anyway, so they announced 5 games. I forgot what they were. There are a couple of different problems with the Sony Classic. Now, Nintendo has they do have a bigger library of original games as far as their own IP, but I think they did have a couple of licensed games within those games. So that's fine. But Sony didn't have as many games as Nintendo did as far as IPs. So they're going to have to rely on third-party stuff. So they got to go get, license for that, which is fine. That's fine. If you put solid Metal Gear and whatever other games that were good for the PlayStation 1, sure. Problem is they included it's 2 controllers, which is cool, but it's not the DualShock. It's the regular PlayStation controller, no analog buttons. So any games that had analog sticks or used analog sticks, you can't have them on the PlayStation Classic because you don't have the joy, you don't have the right controller. So there you go. So you know which games you're not gonna get, unless that PlayStation Mini or PlayStation Classic has the actual port for the DualShock where you can plug in your own DualShock. Then that's fine, or they sell it separately, whatever. Another thing is that they're charging $100 for this. First off, too much money. Okay, you look at what Nintendo did. It was $59 and $70. No, it was $69 and $79, I believe, were the prices. For the NES and SNES. So $99 for 20 games, same amount of game pretty much, but more money. But I don't know. I don't think the nostalgia is as strong as for PS1 games as it is for NES games. I'm gonna just say that right now. I don't think they are. So them charging more is them trying to get more money. Obviously, it doesn't cost $99. I guarantee you, it doesn't cost $99 for that. The plastic was the plastic, a couple of bucks. $2 for the plastic molding. The system on the board, what's that? $15. You load on the ROMs. What are you at? $20 on the controllers. Okay, that's a little bit more. Maybe that's another $20. So at most it's $40 for the whole thing. They're charging $100. Come on, son. I'm just throwing out numbers. I'm pretty sure I might be close. I might be right on, but I'm pretty sure that thing doesn't cost close to $100 to make. Does not. Anyway, it's too much money, and what they're doing. If you didn't realize what they're doing, is they're charging for backwards compatibility, like they have always. Although the other backwards compatibility is better because it's an HD remake, or it's an HD. It's a remaster, HD remaster, which is better because you get better resolution and stuff. But it's still the same game, which is a better not backwards compatibility, but it's a better option for backwards compatibility if you don't have backwards compatibility native, like actual backwards compatibility. That Sony doesn't have for certain games. No, for all games. I'm sorry. You can't grab a PS2 game and put it in your PS4 and it plays. You can't do that. You have to buy the game over. And that's the problem. So they're making you buy PS1 games over with this PlayStation Classic. They're charging for backwards compatibility. Now, another thing that they did This is all to make money. Yes, they're a business. They want to make money, but they're doing all the things that the other companies, well, I'm gonna say Microsoft isn't doing, and they're not charging you for backwards compatibility. They're just like, here you go, and Game Pass, here you go. So with the thing Game Pass, so now PS Now you can download the games. You don't have to just stream them. You could download them locally and play them offline, I guess, if the game is offline. Hello, Stern Sheet 3217. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate. So the thing about that is that yes, you can download the games. That's fine. But here's the problem. You're still being charged for backwards compatibility. If you have a game that is on PS Now in your library of PS3 games, PS4. Oh, by the way, PS3 games you can't download. They still haven't figured that out. You still have to stream those. But if you have one of those games, you can't put that disc in your PS4 and just play it free. You have to pay for PS Now. Once again, Sony's charging for backwards compatibility. Something that and the last thing that's bad about PS Now, I mean, it's better than it was because you can't download the stuff, but it's still not as good as Game Pass because when a game comes out on the play, Spider-Man, an exclusive, it's not on. That's not on PS Now. It's not going to be on PS Now. You know why? Because they have to sell copies. You can't. They're not going to put Spider-Man on PS Now. Even though you're still paying into the subscription. What is this? Oh, let me go up here. Paces plus play 500 plus classes as well as design. To tell you for free. It is free, Pace. That's what backwards compatibility is. Free. You don't know what backwards. I guess you don't know what backwards compatibility is. Here's how it works, Pace. I know you have an X and everything, and you brag about that, but obviously you don't use it to its full capabilities. Say you have any game that's on the marketplace that you see, whether it's original Xbox game or 360 games, they are on the backwards compatibility list, basically. So if you see a game like, oh, I got that game, you grab the disc, you throw it in your Xbox, you can play it. You don't have to buy it from the store. You don't have to have Game Pass. That's what backwards compatibility means. That's what you don't understand. It's free because you have the game already. You don't have to pay again. Pay says, sure, just let me spend $500 on Xbox One X and more for old Xbox and Xbox 360 games. Then I can play them for free. Are you not understanding what free means? You have the game already. You have a library of 100 360 games, let's say. You say, oh, I want to play Vanquish. You have the disc. You don't have Game Pass, but you have the disc. Oh, what do I do with this? If you're a PlayStation player, you throw it in the garbage because you can't use it because it doesn't have backwards compatibility. You take it, you put it in, it plays free. Yes, you had to buy it originally for your 360, but you don't have to pay again. Hence, the free. The free. That's how free works. If someone gives you a copy of a disc on a Xbox disc that's backwards compatible, you can play that on your X for free because you don't have to pay to play it. You just put the disc in. That's what free means. I'm just saying. I don't have to explain things to you, but it's, you know. And this is what pays $99 for a PS Classic plus 2 controllers with 20 classic games, or $500 for X plus the price of Xbox game. Pace. Some people have Xbox games already. Just because you trade up all your stuff in GameSpot just to get the newest console, don't be looking at everybody like they Pace. I have plenty of Xbox games. I got Ninja Gaiden, dope. I got Outrun 2, OG Xbox, yes. And I got that on. I think it was back. Was it better? But it came out on 360. They had another version with some more stuff. But the price of entry to play those backwards compatibility is more than that. Yeah, but here's the thing, Pace. The game library of backwards compatibility is better than those hot garbage PlayStation 1 games. You cannot tell me, first of all, your boy was Jim Ryan was the first one. He works for Sony, and he said, don't nobody want to see them ugly-ass games. Speaking about GT, Gran Turismo. Remember that? Remember that? He's like, nobody want no backwards compatibility. That junk is wet. He's British. I can't do his voice. But he's like, this is ugly. Ew. That's hard. I saw those games, and it was ugly. Good. It was ugly. Oh, but now, since it's $99, and this looks like hot garbage, it's fine now. What Jim Ryan gonna say now? He's gonna say, look at what we have now. Look how beautiful they're. You're full of shit, Jim Ryan. I can't even say your name. Jim Ryan. Full of shit. Because you're sitting there saying, these are ugly games. Who want to play that? Now your company that you work for is selling a hot garbage shit box. Making shit box game. Here you go. Here you go. Jim Ryan's going to be like, hey, look, these games are shite. How you liking it now? Come on, son. Come on, son. The people working for your beloved company contradicting, making them look bad, making themselves look bad. PlayStation Classic already looks bad. Got to spend $99 for some hot-ass, old-ass games. Come on, son. You don't even have analog sticks on the controller. So whack. Come on, son. I was like, I'm a collector. I'm like, I got a PlayStation 1. It's pristine. I can't believe I got this deal. $20. I was like, yo, somebody was trying to hide this in the back. Anyway, I'm like, I have a PlayStation 1. I don't think I need this classic. I paid $20 for the real PlayStation 1. I'm not spending $100 on hot garbage PlayStation 1. Come on, son. What is maybe people that are interested in PS Classic never owned a PS1 before? I don't think so. Maybe some, but I think it's more about nostalgia. A lot of people who bought the NES and NES, SNES classics, where it's nostalgia stuff and for their kids and stuff. But the problem, like I said, the problem is those games were not the best games for nostalgia. They were hot garbage. That time in video games was the worst time in video games besides the beginning. That was the worst. It was like, oh man, that's ugly. That's really not pretty. Ew. But it was new, so everybody's, it's 3D. But we look back at it, it's like, nope. Go try to play Tomb Raider, the first one. Hot garbage. Come on, son. Let's see. Pace says, may you please get this in your head. I know how backwards baby works. You do, but you don't seem to realize how you know. What is that? That's making me think. Jim Sterling speaks for all gamers now, man. I didn't. Who said Jim Sterling? I didn't even mention his name. What did he say? I didn't even know did he say something? Gotta turn off your stream yet again. Sony hate is annoying. Better than spending $500 for backwards compatibility. You're not spending $500 for backwards compatibility. It's part of the whole package. You get the best graphics. You spent $500, so I don't know what you're talking about. And it's not better because the hot garbage that you get, it's like, I'm gonna spend $100 to play Pac-Man on the 2600. That's like the Atari people. Like, yeah, our new Atari box is $100. You can play them games, those delicious games from the 26. Like, nope. How about no? Because that's not worth $100. I'm sorry. You can't trick me into spending nostalgia. Damn nostalgia. $100 for Pac-Man on 26. You can kiss my grits. I don't think it's gonna sell as well as the NES stuff. It's not. I mean, Sony's trying, but it's called classic for a reason. Yeah, they have some good games, but And everybody I know who bought the NES and all that stuff, like, why did I buy this? They don't play it. They play it for like 2 seconds and then they put it in the closet and gets dusty. So I'm like, yeah, all right. Xbox One. Why you keep bringing up the price? I mean, like, here's gonna be funny. This is what's gonna be funny, Pace. Next gen, when Sony comes out with their new PS5 and it's like $1 billion zillion and it's more expensive than the new Xbox, then what you gonna say about price? Then you gonna be like, it's all about exclusives. That's what you're gonna say. You always gonna flip the screen. Oh no, you can't say something about price. You gotta talk about this. You always got something to fall back on, right? Come on, son. You know that $99 for a piece of shit classic is not worth it. That if it was $69, I'd be like, you know what? Alright. But they're greedy, man. Nostalgia my ass. They're like, oh, we gotta milk everything. Like I said, going back, if PlayStation Now is better, still not as good as Game Pass because their first party games aren't day and date on PS Now. That's the differentiator right there. Because they want to sell all them units. They want to sell all the units. Instead of concentrating on subs. Instead of concentrating on getting people into the ecosystem, like, boom, you subbed. Like, let's get some unit sales. Let's do that. Meanwhile, people on Game Pass still going to buy the game because you get that discount, son. It's like having the Best Buy Gamers Pass, whatever. Except it's just digital, which is better. You know, I'm starting to go digital because I'm like, I don't feel like getting up putting in discs. I want to play something. I want to just click, boom, let's go. Anyway, get an Xbox One Enhanced. I need an Xbox. To get an Xbox One X Enhanced, I need a $500 Xbox. No. Again, it's not for you. Just like the Xbox One, it's not for millions. Millions of people pick the PS4 over Xbox. Fact. Sure. Sony will release the console more expensive than the Xbox. That's just speculation. You don't know that. They did it. They didn't learn from the PS3 because their hubris is back. Are you kidding me? Do you realize what's going on over at Sony? They're like, how are we gonna make the next dollar? I know, PlayStation. You know what's gonna happen next? PS2 Classic's coming. You know the PS2 Classic's coming. PS3 Classic? Possibly, because they've already figured out how to emulate PS3 games. So they might do that. I don't know if they've figured it out, Sony themselves, but someone has on the internet. So it's possible. I agree, 99 is pretty high for 20 games compared to 59 NES, 79 NES, which offer way more games, but it may not be for you. Some people want it. Yes, I realize that, but still, I'm talking about generally speaking. People have more nostalgia than for the NES, Super NES, than the PS1. Sony might as well do the same tweet and talk about how the PS3 can still play PS1 games free. Yeah, that's true, but nobody is rocking a PS3 anymore, and the PS4 can't do nothing for you. And that's the system, you know, Vita's dead. That's all they got now is PS4 as far as video game system. But, you know, that's, I mean, you want to talk about free, you know, the ColecoVision had the Atari adapter where you could play 2600s on your ColecoVision. Remember that? Remember that's how Coleco went out of business? Not saying that anybody's going out of business. I'm just saying that you could play Atari 2600 games on your ColecoVision for free if you had the games. So, your point is, you sound like Jeezy right now, Junior. I think it was just the PS2, backwards compatibility was yanked from the PS3, so not free. Oh, remember other OS? Yank! Sony likes taking away stuff from you guys. You're like, I love you, Sony. I like, hey, why can't I play my games no more? Because it's too expensive to have a PS2 inside the PS. That's literally how they did backwards compatibility. That's the dumb way of doing backwards compatibility. If you didn't know, I'm not calling them dumb. I'm just saying it's the dumb way to do it, or it's the dumb way to do it financially, because they literally put a PS2 inside the PS3 to do backwards compatibility for PS2 games on the PS3. They put the emotion engine in the freaking PS3. And then they said, dang, this thing costs a lot of money. How are we going to make this cheaper? Guess it's the PS2 backwards compatibility's got to go. Meanwhile, Xbox, Microsoft, they over there, we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure, ching, ching, ching. We're going to figure this out because they code ninjas. They figured out how to do 360 backwards compatibility on the X. And they figured out how to do, well, on the 360, they figured out how to do Xbox One original backwards compatibility. And on the X and the Xbox One, they figured out how to do both. So why can't Sony do that? Why can't Sony do that? They're in the lead. They're the number one. Why can't they do the things that the number 2 and number 3 are doing? What's going on here? What? Pay says, we're talking about Sony to bring up Calico. It's Calico. You spell it wrong. Crap on this. I'm just saying, backwards compatibility. You're talking about free is free. You know what's not free? Backwards compatibility on the PS4. You're never gonna have it. Hey, I want to play my old. I want to play God of War. I want to play the original disc of God of War on my PS4. You gotta go to the store and buy the God of War collection. It's higher definition, but you gotta pay for it again. Is that a Japanese thing? Like Nintendo does that too. They're like, yo, guess what? New Super Mario Brothers Wii U's coming out for the Switch. Everybody's like, yay. Oh, wait a second. We got to buy that again. Oh, wait a second. We got to buy it again. Oh, no. Oh, you got married. Congratulations, Billy Aki. Billy. And congratulations to Mrs. Ak. Know what I mean? I'm sorry. It was scrolling too fast. I gotta go back. Pace. Why can't I buy Connect no more? Why can't I talk to my Xbox One no more? Xbox TV, Xbox One. Why can't I do? Actually, you can. Pace. Why do you say things that just aren't true? I mean, I know you're trying to be a troll and stuff, but truth. Troll, truth, the T. There's a T there. You need to realize, just like the PlayStation, you can use your microphone if you want to. If your microphone on the camera that you connect to your X, which can be any camera. Did you know that? Oh, Pace, I bet you didn't know. You can use any webcam, pretty much, on your X. Did you know that? Oh, you probably didn't know that. And guess what's on that? Microphone. Oh, you probably didn't know that because you talk shite all the time. You're trying to make a point. You point to dull. There you go. So yeah, you can still do that. So I don't know what you're talking about. You can do that. How come my PS4 Pro ran COD Black Ops better than Xbox One X? Well, that's the beta, first of all, so it's not final code. So we'll see when the final code comes out and what Digital Foundry says. Most likely, you're probably running at 1080p on the PlayStation 4 Pro because it's weak. It doesn't have the muscles to push 4K or anything close to 4K. I think the resolution was really low on the PlayStation 4 Pro because it's kind of hot garbage as far as the most powerful of the consoles. It is not the most powerful. Billy, okay, stop it. Oh no, you have food poisoning? Oh man, that sucks. Sorry, Billy. Well, that's a memory for you. Remember the time we got married and they got food poisoning? Yeah, that was great, honey. Oh man. Pay says you can use any mouse and keyboard on the PS4 you can on the X. Yeah, they're working on that. Yeah, they're behind on that. But yeah, if you want to use mouse and keyboard, use a PC. Pay says nope, 4K same resolution as the X. Okay, first of all, you're crazy wrong. Crazy wrong. It's not the same resolution. What do you? Peace. Now you might be right. I did watch it. Wait, did I watch the latest one? Or I watched I think they had another one, first one. But Billy, don't derail the classic debate. You missed the whole Last Jedi Infinity War debate. You should have been in here for that. That was good. It wasn't that good. It wasn't a debate. Infinity War 1, by the way. That was the debate. Anyway, so here's the overall lesson here. Sony is charging for backwards compatibility. Meanwhile, Microsoft isn't. Now, you could try to twist it. You can try to spin it and say, oh, it's not free. You got to buy Xbox. Dumb. Guess what? If you buy a PS4, you don't have backwards compatibility. So, if you buy a PS4, right? Let's say you buy a PS4 Pro, $399, right? No backwards compatibility. You want backwards compatibility, You have to buy a $99 PlayStation Classic. Guess what? Your PS4 Pro turned into a $500 PS4 Pro, and it still doesn't play on the actual PS4 Pro. That's hot garbage. If you want to talk prices, add $100 to anything that you be like, oh, it's backwards compatible now. Such a dumb argument. I can't believe I'm still down. Yeah, they're behind on that. There you go. It's okay to admit defeat sometimes. Well, you never admit defeat. You're just like, oh, it's free this. Yeah. Sony. Ugh. Both Pro and the X does dynamic 4K, but ran better on the Pro. What do you mean ran better? Higher frames or higher resolution? That's what I'm saying. I knew it was dynamic resolution, but I believe that the resolution was higher on the X. Right? Right. That's how it. That's the story. That's common knowledge. That's like, oh, I have a 1080 Ti versus a R with 390 or something. Guess what? Probably gonna have better performance on the 1080 Ti or the 2080 Ti, even though it's not that much better than the 1080 Ti. I have admitted defeat numerous times. Okay, sure. Not while I was in chat. I admit every time I buy a third-party game on Xbox or the PS4. Well, that sucks for PlayStation, I guess. I know they both ran in dynamic 4K, but there are lower and higher limits to dynamic 4K. That's how dynamic 4K works. There's a lower threshold and a higher threshold. The lowest threshold on the PlayStation 4 Pro is lower than the Xbox. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But, you know, that's how it usually works on the Pro and the X versus the Pro. So, and yeah. I mean, I know it's not 4K native, and I don't think it reaches 4K. I think it's 20. What did they say? 2016, I think, that the X reaches, and then the Pro is at, what's it, 12 something? I think was the highest resolution, 12 something p. I think. I don't. That's just trying to scrape my brain cells. I think that's what the numbers were. So the X was just barely below 4K native, and the Pro was like lower than 1440p basically. So, but yeah, you know, I think that they should bump down the resolution on the X, the high threshold or whatever, in order to keep a more consistent 60. I think that's more important, because I mean it's proven that a lot of the games on the Pro look okay. You know, it's like it's good enough. Like I call the PS4 Pro the good enough system, basically, because it's good enough. It's like, oh, you know, when you look at stuff on the Pro versus native 4K on the X, you're like, okay, I can see the difference, but it's not a deal breaker. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm like, that's where I'm in the same boat as you, Pace, where frames, I'd rather have 60 frames, constant, smooth 60 frames, rather than, you know, always 4K. I'm like, look, man, I get it. You can do it, but give me some smooth. Like, that's where Forza Horizon 4, I put that on 60 frames. I was like, oh, snap. Playing Forza Horizon 4 open world crazy racing game in 60 frames per second is ridiculous. I was like, okay, this is I don't know what Gran Turismo, Sony, Polyphony, I don't know what they're going to do, but they better start doing something, because Playground Games is running away with the racing games just title. They are the kings, queens. They are everything. They're like, they're pulling away so far. Cause you just Opti says, cause you're missing out on the chat going on in Discord. He's probably listening to Bobby Blackwolf or something. That's what everybody does. It turns 8 o'clock and then they're like, peace out. You gotta listen to Bitter Blackwolf, which is fine. They both reach 4K when they're not doing much, but yeah, when you're like in a corner looking at a wall, maybe when there's nothing else on the screen. I think there's an option to pick performance and quality when the game. Yeah, probably that makes sense, right? But I would think that the dynamic resolution would well, I guess if they cap it at, no, they can't cap it at 30. That doesn't make any sense. 30. 30 is 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 30 Yeah, I don't know. I would think the dynamic resolution would handle that, and that 60 because COD is 60 frames. They're like, yo, that's what we do. So there shouldn't be like a quality versus performance because it's all about the performance when it comes to COD. So 60 frames is like that's the first words that come out of your mouth. COD 60 frames. That's it. Yeah, everything else is like, okay. So are they gonna take away like effects to make the resolution higher, which makes no sense? That's the dumbest thing. So that's where I agree with a lot of people where they're saying, 4K, 4K, 4K is fine, but it's not the best. It's not the best use of the power all the time because the X is the most powerful system right now, but it's not powerful enough to do 4K 60 on everything consistently, And with these games getting crazier, open world games and so on, it's hard, So, but that's why I look at Forza Horizon 4, and I'm like, okay. So I played the demo. I played 30 frames, 4K. I was like, yo, this is beautiful. Then I put it on 60 frames, 1080p. I think it's 1080p, 60 frames. And I was like, it doesn't look. I mean, it's not 4K. You can tell, but it's like it doesn't look like it's horrible. It doesn't look like it's really far from 4K because it's so smooth. It's like butter. I was like, yo, I don't know. Should I play this? Because I'm used to playing Forza Horizon in 30 frames. I'm kind of used to that, like how it feels. But I played it in 60. I was like, this is different. This changes what this game is. It feels like Forza Motorsport, but an open world. And I'm like, how? I don't know how to feel. I'm like, wait, okay. So, yo, I'm like, Sony should just stop making racing games because dude, I mean, they sell some, but you can't, come on, son, you can't even compete with Forza Horizon is killing it all the way. They're killing it so good that they said, you know what, we're so good with racing games, we gonna make other games now. We gonna go make a Fable game. I'm like, wait, what? How y'all gonna just jump off of racing games? Like, I don't know. Pace says, so if the PS4 is a half measure, what's the X? It can't even do 4K 60 consistently. It can't even do 4K 60 consistently on its first-party games, on its own first-party games. That's not true. It does 4K 60 on Forza Motorsport. So get your facts right. Once again, I have proven you wrong, Pace. It's becoming easier and easier. I think you should create more of a challenge for me to prove you wrong. No, PS4 Pro is barely a half measure because all they did was basically improve the resolution on it. This like nothing's like the load speed aren't. I don't think the load speed's any faster. It uses the same texture quality. It's just like what is the difference, honestly? And you look at Spider-Man, like, oh, performance is a little better. Okay, a little. But read comprehension. What does read comprehension mean? Reading comprehension I understand, but read comprehension isn't a sentence. Ugh, I just broke my chair. Hold on. Let me fix my chair real quick while I read comprehension. Consistently, yeah. Play Forza Motorsports. Consistently 4K. Consistently 60. You read comprehension, fool. That's what I'm going to say now. Read comprehension. Because it sounds better than reading comprehension. Anyway. What was I saying? Wow. The Forza versus... Ooh. Forza. So I'm like... So how is Sony gonna... I don't know if Sony will ever get the racing crown back, because Gran Turismo Sport was kind of a letdown. I won't call it a failure, but nobody's talking about that game. I want on my first party Xbox game consistently to do 60 frames. See what you do? You're adding little caveats. All games need to do all this and all. Well, all games on the PS4 should you say no game. Let me go back. Let me go back and chat. Let me go back and chat and read your words. It can't even do 4K 60 frames consistently. It can't even do 60 frames consistently on its own first-party games. And I proved to you that there is a first-party game that does it, and it's Forza Horizon 4. Now, you expect every game to do 60 frames per second, 4K 60 frames? That's what you expect? So what do you expect from Sony? At least 1080p? Because that's what they can give you. So is that worth it? No, it's not. But you know, it's pretty foolish to say, oh, that's like saying every PC game should be 4K 60 frames. That's not how it works. I mean, you could probably make it happen if you turn off the shadow, ambient occlusion, anti-aliasing, whatchamacallit, that, screen space reflections, all the good stuff that makes the game look good. Yeah! You know what? Microsoft could make every game 4K 60 frames per second, but it would look like hot garbage. So what's the point? Yeah, okay. If the PS4 Pro was $500, it would not. not what it expects. And it wouldn't be $500. If you want to do 4K 60 frames per second, you might as well be like, it's PS3, $699. Wait, no, it's $599, $600. I feel sorry for the people who spent $600 on the PS3. That's some ridiculousness right there, boy. I'm like, wow. How I'll tell you, boy, Sony was selling the hell out of that, boy. They were like, yeah, look at the Spider-Man fight. Yeah, we're so good. Red Racer. And what are they doing now? This is what they're doing now. They're putting out like ridiculous products, like too expensive products, $99 for a PS Classic, too much money. But they're not saying anything. They're shh. Because they know when they say stuff, they always put their foot in their mouth. Jim Ryan, who's, I think he's the ad person for Sony, right? Or I gotta look up his title. I can't remember what he does. But he does not say stuff that should be said for if you are working for a company and you want the company to look good in the eyes of the consumers and such. Just don't, Jim Ryan. Just not. No. Quiet, please. All the power and all we get a cartoon game of the state of KC Thieves. Yo, I think Death Stranding is gonna be not that good. Everybody's hyping it up. That's the problem, man. Y'all hype everything up. Remember the Last Guardian? Hype. Yeah. That game was like, that was like a cold, wet blanket, like plop. One of them weighted like 25-pound wet blankets. Like I can't get up, and it's wet. I think I'm getting sick. Hype. Ooh, let's hype up Gran Turismo Sport. It's so good. It's online all the time. If you want to change your livery, you gotta go online. Like what? I thought, what happened to the? This is not the Xbox. We are PlayStation 4. We are not. You could not have to be always online. What happened to that? Oh yeah, that's right. That's when they zip their lips and like, nah, don't say nothing, yo. Don't say nothing about that. Billy, God of War and Spider-Man. Spider-Man, did it live up to the hype? Spider-Man's a good game. I mean, 87 on Metacritic? Not as good as God of War. But it's a good, like they did a comparison with Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2018, Marvel Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2 for whatever. I guess that was PS2. Was that on Xbox? I don't remember. Anyway, they did a comparison to those, and of course, Marvel Spider-Man 2018 won everything. Of course, it's way better, but the similarities are so crazy between those two games. I'm like, hold up, they kind of just remade Spider-Man 2 better. I'm not saying that they made a whack game. I'm just saying they did a really good job at making that game again. That's what if you want to break it down, just like, you know, to to minimally break it down, that's what they did. Because the swinging was the same, like the webs attached to buildings in Spider-Man 2, just like whatchamacallit. Sea of Thieves wasn't hyped up though. Neither was State of Decay. State of Decay was like, I never heard that, and that's the thing. So, and if you want to live off a hype, if that's your nourishment, hyperbole, sure, go for it. But not every game is gonna be a God of War, because no other Sony exclusive has been a God of War. Because God of War is 94, Spider-Man's 87. Be greater. Spider-Man can't even be greater than 97. What's going on, Spider-Man? Your freaking logo, your motto, your motto, your catchphrase is be greater. And you're not greater. Metacritic says you're not. So, maybe you should. I haven't seen Be Greater in a while. I see Greatness Await. It's coming back. They're waiting for someone to be greater than God of War, so they're saying Greatness Awaits again. I was like, oh man, why we make God of War? It's too good. They should have waited like a year and a half to put God of War out. That way it could be like the last swan song for the PlayStation 4 before the PlayStation 5 comes out. And then they could do God of War 4K pew 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 on the PlayStation 5. But they can't. Well, I mean, they're going, let's be real. They're going to make God of War 8K or 4K God of War, PlayStation 5 version of Spider-Man. They're going to do that because that's what they do. I doubt that the PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4 because that's what they do. Because the PlayStation 4 isn't backwards compatible with anything. They can make it, but they don't. Last of Us 2 will be the swan song. Nah, Death Stranding's not coming out on the PS4. I mean, they'll have a version of it for the PS4, but the PS5 will be out for Death Stranding, I will say. I'll say that. Or it'll be right on, like... No, I think Death Stranding might be a launch title for the PS5. Let's just say that. Last of Us 2, yeah, I think that's next year, right? Is that what they said? I don't even know. No. Pace says $500 Xbox One X and can't even get first-party games that breaks 970 on Metacritic. Sad, says Burr. And Pace says Last of Us 2 will be swan song for PS4 or Death Stranding. Microsoft should just pay whatever it takes to license Sony games. Nah. No. Even though Microsoft is coming up on the hardware front, they're making some good-ass hardware. I'm like, hold up. Because the Xbox One X, you could be like $500, you can't even do this. Guess what? It could do everything better than the PS4 Pro. Boom! Oh, snap! The Xbox One X can do everything better, but it can't play Spider-Man better than the PS4. Well, you know what I mean. If Sony holds a game hostage, what can you do? You know what the Xbox can't do better than PS4 Pro? It can't hijack your Epic Games account. That's what it can't do. There you go. You got me. PlayStation 4 is better at hijacking accounts than it is on the Xbox. Can't do that. Death Stranding has to come out for the PS4, even as PS5. I think it'll be Death Stranding will be a, like I said, PS5 launch, but they'll also have a PS4 Pro version. But does that count? I mean, it counts. It's got me thinking now. If it does do that, then that means that the PS5 is backwards compatible. Or if it's not backwards compatible, if Death Stranding / Last of Us 2 come out for the PS, like say if both of those games are PS5 launch titles and it comes out for the PS4 at the same time, then one of two things happened. The PS5 is backwards compatible, and it can do that. Or they made two versions of the game. One for PS4, one for PS5. If the PS5 is backwards compatible, will Sony let it be? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, the PS4 can be backwards compatible with PS1 games and PS2 games because they have them running on the freaking hardware. You can buy the games in the store, means you could play the code. That's what that means. But it's not backwards compatible in the fact that you can take your original disc and put it in and play the games. You know what I'm saying? So will they make you rebuy the games? That's what I'm saying. If you buy Spider-Man for PS4 and you be like, yo, man, I want to play it on my PS5, but the PS5 is going to make it look better, are they going to let you do that? You know? If they do, they're going to lose a lot of money because a lot of people aren't going to buy Spider-Man for the PS5 when they already have it for the PS4. They're just going to load it up. Like what Xbox does. You go, boom, throw it in, and it makes the old games better. You know, it's Xbox enhanced, so you got better graphics, you got more resolutions, you got whatever. You know, will Sony do that? As far as a business model and stuff, hell no, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna make you buy another one. That's what they're gonna do. This is the PS5 Ultimate Resolution Edition or some shit. I don't know what the fuck. I can see them printing just one version of the game and have it case they playable on PS4 and PS5. I don't know, how would that work? I mean, it would work, yeah, but I don't know because then how would that work? It works for Xbox because Xbox is forward backwards compatible. That's their stick, you know. You're like, okay, yeah, sure, of course it works. But PS5 is literally a different generation. That's what they're saying, right? PS5 is a different generation. It's not the PS4, right? The next Xbox is still going to be an Xbox. You know, they're not distinguishing any type of, it's the one is there, the One X, but the next Xbox, Scarlet, whatever it's going to be called, is still an Xbox. And that's the difference. That's the difference between Microsoft and Sony. You know, Microsoft forward backwards compatible. They stated it earlier in the generation when Phil Spencer said, yo, this is what's going on. Sony is like, nah, generations are generations. We like the different generations, generations. They have not veered from that stance. That's what they said. They haven't said anything different. And they haven't proven anything different as far as backwards compatibility goes. If they can do it, they have the technology to do it. They just don't want to do it business-wise. They don't want to give you an opportunity to play games that you already own for free when the other option is they can buy them, yes, at a lower price than, you know, a full game would cost. But for Sony, it's like, yo, we can make $10 here, $20 here. People will buy it. All we have to do is, you know, make the resolution better. Whatever, you know what I mean? And then repackage it or just sell it digital and make that money. And that's fine. Mama 84, how you doing? Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate hanging out. Let's see. Why not, instead of printing two versions of the Phantom Pain, one for PS4, PS3 and PS4, just print one version of Death Stranding and play? I mean, I agree with you. That's what Xbox does. And it uploads, I mean, like the disc that you get is the Xbox like One S or OG Xbox One version. And then you put it in and it detects that it's an X and it downloads the X assets, you know, the textures and whatever else they need to make it X enhanced. So PlayStation could do that, but that's kind of riding the line of backwards compatibility because that's how, you know, the backwards compatibility is working for the X and the One. Whereas, like, if you have whatever game, right, and it's Xbox One enhanced, and you have the disc, you put it in and enhances it. All it is replacing the textures and maybe some code for resolution and stuff and frame rate, but it's the same old code from the One. And this is gonna, you know, go on for Xboxes for the future. That's their goal. That's their plan, because they're not concentrating on unit sales of this generation and that generation. They're concentrating on the growth of the ecosystem and having more people on Xbox Live, Game Pass, and all these other services. So that's the difference. I mean, Sony's trying to do that now. You know, they're trying to catch up with Game Pass, but they're still not there. If they have day and date releases like Last of Us 2 comes out this date, it's on PS Now that the same date, I'm like, okay, it's even now. Actually, PlayStation Now is better because they got more games. But they're not doing that. They're not going to do that because they want to sell them units, you know. And then they're not doing Play Anywhere stuff, and it's they just have a different not structure. Words aren't working today. Sorry. and actually, the show was over, but I'm still going. I don't care. This is interesting stuff because the next generation is soon coming, man. It's 2018 is pretty much done. You know, hurricane season is almost over in 2 months, 2.5 months. Oh boy, we're gonna probably get a bad hurricane. Anyway, and then all the future PS5 games that won't run on PS4 just say only playable on PS5. Xbox One X, Xbox One OG, and Xbox One X are all in the same gen of consoles, though. PS4 and PS5 are different gens. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that what they had said, what Phil Spencer said, Microsoft said, is that it's not about generations anymore, and that the Scarlet will be backwards compatible. So that's the main message for like Xbox, the Xbox, you know, going forward, consoles, whatever. I think possibly one day they're probably going to try to get the Xbox app on PC to work like the console. It's not quite there. I mean, it's kind of close. I could play like Sea of Thieves. I just go on the Xbox app and boom, boom, it works. So, I mean, they're working on that stuff. So, like, you know, Play Anywhere, and the whole crossplay thing too. That's something else that Sony has to address in the next generation. If they don't address it, that's something else that they're not participating in, and it could hurt them in the long run. But I say it could, but I don't think it will, because people are like, yo, Sony's the best. And so the fact that they're not doing it, they'll give excuses as to why, and they aren't valid. It's just not a good look. But if they decide to do it one day, then it's like, oh, they're really, oh, Sony, oh, and then it's like a praiseworthy type of action now, and I'm like, what? You weren't yelling at them when they were screwing you, but now you're praising them that they're doing something that they should have done years ago. I mean, come on, you know. So that's where, you know, the super fanboys kind of not get on my nerves, but I'm like, what? Stop, just stop that, stop it. So PS Now was game streaming only until just recently. Imagine being able to stream PS5 games on your PS4. Yeah, but the whole point of like a PS5 is resolution and frame rate, really, at this point. Because the PS4 can do beautiful graphics at, you know, checkerboarded or whatever, kind of fake, not fake 4K, but, you know, they do all these post-processing to make it smooth and stuff. So that's not the issue, and you can't stream 4K. That's not going to stream 4K games. It's not going to happen. Not anytime soon. So it wouldn't. You might as well just play it on your PS4. You might as well play the PS4 version on your PS4 because it's not. It wouldn't. It's not worth it. You know. So that, yeah, the streaming is not. It's not ready. I know Microsoft's trying to get into it now, but I'm still like, I don't care about streaming games. We still got a while. We still got a ways to go for that. A lot of it is bandwidth, but I mean, Microsoft the one thing I'll say about Microsoft is they're approaching all these hardware hurdles. I'd say it intelligently, because like, think about what they're putting out as far as hardware, right? When was the last bad hardware? You can say the Xbox One, the OG Xbox One. Technically, it wasn't bad. It was just underpowered and overpriced, right? But it wasn't a bad piece of hardware. Never red ringed. I don't think there's a red ring on there. It was quiet as hell. Still is. I guess the Kinect wasn't bad either. It just was not. It was forced, and technology-wise, it's good. It's just like mass appeal and practically, no. So so I'm just looking at like hardware. The Surface team made all these. They made the X, they made the S, they made the what did they make the one? I think they made the 1 too. I'm not sure. I know they made the S and the X. And the Surface team, they're the hardware team basically. So I'm like, okay, so the X is cool. I mean, it's cool and it's quiet and it's powerful, and they really did a good job with the X. So I'm like, I have confidence in their ability to make the next Xbox, the Xbox Scarlet, an awesome piece of kit, an awesome piece of hardware. Sony, the PS4 was great when it came out compared to the Xbox One. But then they came up with the Pro, and when you compare the Pro to the regular PlayStation, I'm like, what did you do? And I think what they did was they wanted to keep the price down. So they did the most that they can do to keep that price down. So much that they didn't put a 4K Blu-ray player in their own console. That's how much they needed to keep. That's how much they wanted to keep the price down at $399. And I mean, for people like Pace who argue price, sure. I'm not saying just you, Pace. A lot of people argue price. But for an extra $100 to get the jump in performance and to watch 4K Blu-rays, I'm paying $100. If I were to buy a standalone 4K Blu-ray player, it would be more than $100. So the Xbox One X already is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because it can play 4K Blu-rays. So that $100 is for the 4K Blu-ray player. If they wanted to be sassy, they could be like, you know what? Here's the Xbox One X Slim. It's just got a regular Blu-ray player, $350. There you go. Boom. Of course, that wouldn't do it because the Blu-ray player doesn't cost $100. It costs like $20 or something. So, you know, that's not the reality. That isn't reality. So, but you know, they can do some slick things. You know, I'm kind of curious as far as the next Nintendo Switch. I know they did a re-up on it in order to close some hacker stuff, but I'm talking about an improvement in the chipset because the Tegra X1 is what they're using now. Whatever the most powerful Tegra X chip, just put that in the new Switch, the new Nintendo Switch, whatever. You know what? You should call it the Super Nintendo Switch. You should call it this. It would be so cool if Nintendo put out the Super Nintendo Switch. I would be like, oh hell yeah, I'm buying that right there. I'm not even like a Super Nintendo fan. I'm not even a Nintendo fan like that. But as far as nostalgia and naming conventions, come on, son. This whole nostalgia wave is coming at people putting out these mini consoles, classic consoles. It would be the smartest thing for Nintendo to put out the Super Nintendo Switch. Please do it. Please do it. And then put out the Game Switch and the Switch 64. Or the Switch. What would it be? Well, it would be the Switch 64 because it's a 64-bit OS, right? Yeah, Switch 64. It all works. It's amazing that it all Super Nintendo Switch. Switch 64 still works. Game Switch is a little not as good, but you know, whatever. They should do it, and then they should do a Switch 3D Switch. Just to be goofy, like, you guys like the 3D airs? Just a limited run. If they did a limited run of 3D Switches, like 3DS technology on the screen, that would sell so many units. But it was a limited run, like, oh, we're only making 25,000. We're only making 50,000 units. It's just a limited edition. It would sell out. Just like, because collectors be like, I want to get. Oh, dude, okay, last thing. I was watching YouTubies. And this one dude, he's in Australia. He has the greatest video game collection ever. His whole house is a video game collection. I'm like, how the hell you get your wife and kid? Well, the kids, sure, but the wife went along with it. The living room is a whatever. He's got like a lot of magazines and stuff. And goes in another one. Here's the computer room. He's got all the Commodores. He's got Japanese computers. He's got all. Then he goes in the retro console room. Got all the old consoles. All the collection of all the games on every console. I'm like, how the hell? He's like, oh, I'm working on the. He's working on something. Oh, I'm working on the something. I just started the Atari 2600 collection, and look at it. It's like oh, I was like, shh. And then he's like, oh, we got this. We have four. He has 4 racing chairs. I think they're Xbox. Ones. We were at Forza and all this, and we're racing, and he's got 4 of them lined up, linked together. I'm like, okay. Then he's got an arcade room with all arcade games. I'm like, he's got the sit-down Space Harrier. He's got sit-down Afterburner. He's got the sit-down Outrun. Those are just the 3. He's got all. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy has a lot of money, and he's been doing it for a while. But I look at his stuff, and I'm like, okay, you know what? John Jacobson need to quit. Don't even try to do arcade stuff anymore, because this dude right here got you beat 1,000 times, man. And here's the thing. He didn't just make an arcade. He's like, I made a replica of the arcade that I loved as a childhood in my hometown, or this is what and he made a replica of the exact arcade that he had when he was growing up as a kid. I was like, oh, hell no. And he placed the arcades, like, here's, I forgot what the first game was. Oh, 720. He's like, this was the game that when you first walk in the arcade, this was, and he put it right there. I was like, oh my gosh. This guy. It makes me crazy because, I mean, first, I don't have the patience to mess with those machines because I couldn't fix them all. I couldn't fix one. I could probably learn how to do it, but I don't want to. I'd rather create stuff than fix stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's why I'm rendering 1,000 years. But yeah. I forgot what his freaking channel was, but it's very recent. So check out the world's greatest video game collection on YouTube, and it's like, whew. But anyway, that's it. Nothing else. Show's over. Whatchamacallit? Backwards compatibility for the win. PlayStation Classic. I mean, the thing is, like, I have my opinions about it. I'm not going to buy one. I didn't buy the NES Classic and stuff. So, whatever. But people are, like, kind of like, I don't know. Like, people who are Sony fans, you know, PlayStation fans, they're like, I don't know. Nope. Not for $99. It's the price. So, it tells me that the hubris is still there. And they don't quite get it. I mean, I think they understand why, but they don't quite get how to stay there. And I'm like, yo, that's too much money. I mean, I'm trying to think, what could they put in that thing that would make it worth $99? Like, if it had like a expandable flash memory, right? You put a card in there and it said you could hook it up to the internet. Which you can't, because I don't think it has a thing. Maybe it has Wi-Fi in it. You go up to the internet, and you could download certain games from the PS1 library from your PlayStation. Like, if you have these games on your PlayStation, or in the PlayStation Store, you could buy them off of there or something like that. That wouldn't make it better, because then you still have to buy games for it, right? Not that I'm saying this should be free or anything. I'm just saying, what could make it a better value? What can make it a better value? We're going to make it a better value. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Not get one, because it's not good. Looks good. It's not good, though. Anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. Appreciate y'all hanging. Yeah, see, nobody was on YouTube. YouTube. You boob. Anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. Everybody in chat, Kaijudo and Twitch, Opti and Twitch. It's been a minute, Opti, for real, for real. Pace, definitely appreciate and enjoy the conversation. Definitely. Really okay. Congratulations. Actually, you know what? I'm not leaving yet. I wanna see something. I wanna see something. Oh, I'm like, where'd it go? I wanna see something. I wanna see something. I wanna see something. The ship with the red hair. Oh, Derek H, are you in chat? Derek H, there you are. You might be listening, maybe. I don't know. I wanted to ask you. This should be a private conversation, but I'm gonna ask you on live on the air, Do you need art for your book, The Ship with the Red Hair? I know you're not done. It's in draft status. You have how many chapters, sir? Wait, I don't have what? Why? Where's my? What? How come I'm not signed in? What's going on here? Okay, let me go here. I thought it was. Oh, you're still on chapter. Okay, he didn't write. You didn't work on the book. You better write chapter 6, man. You need art for The Ship with Red Hair. I would assume. You should have a contest or something. You should have a contest. I know you're very particular, so I would say you should have a contest. But you know, you could say, all right, here's the time when you can enter the contest, and you can see. And if there's nothing you like, you'd be like, oh, contest is extended. You know, keep it open so that you can get something that you like. Because the one thing I don't want is like, you know, you put up a contest or whatever for art, and then you're like, I guess that'll do. You know, you just kind of choose something that's good enough or the best, but you still don't like it. That's kind of sucks. So you want something that you want and like. So yeah, I would say, or just have submissions, not a contest, but like just have, hey, submissions for The Ship with Red Hair. If you win, you get a copy. Are you gonna do hard copies? I would love a hard copy of The Ship with Red Hair. That would be dope. Yes, I would buy that. I will buy it. If you're making it, I will buy it as soon as you finish writing it. But I was gonna go to chapter 2. I know I read chapter 1. Wait, let me go back. Read. And I meant to ask you if it was okay, but I read the last chapter a while ago. My training was supposed to prepare me to communicate with all of these vessels. There's hundreds of. I can't do it today. My voice is about to go. My voice is super scratchy right now. But yeah, I just wanted to know about that, and also, close that. Also, I've been working in Blender a lot, so I can do some models. I'll work on some ship models for you. And maybe I'll work, I don't know. I'm just saying words now. I'm very tired and hungry, so I'm going to go now. But I appreciate you hanging out, everybody. What happened with the Star Wars? What is this animated Star Wars? Animotion trailer? What does that mean? Check out this fan-made animated trailer for Star Wars A New Hope, which I wish it could just... Let me see. Put it over here. And put this over here. And put this over here. Oh. I kind of like that. Oh, it's anime. Biggs is right. Oh, that's kind of goofy. No, it's the wrong color. Speed up the harvest of our boy. Look at Jabba's. Is that the same guy who did the TIE Fighter short? That looks like him. It looks like his art. Oh, that's some good roto. Tarkin looks kind of cool. Obi-Wan looks kind of diesel. I don't know. So, look at Chewbacca. Look like he got a mustache. Does he look like that for real? I guess he does. I don't know. He gonna get sued for muting the music. Muting the music. Where's the after credits content? Oh wow, the credits. Oh, that's cool. Why don't you use your music there? Patreon, Instagram, Mega Grozov. Oh, is he? Where is he from? Are you? Was it you? Are you? Ukraine? No. I don't know what RU is. So why is it in? That was Japanese, right? Yes, that was okay. So, whatever. That was a cool Jeep. Whatever. I mean that was okay, but whatever. There's better anime out there. Anyway, all games. Appreciate you hanging out. I'ma click the button now. Tilt to wait. Wait till tilt. See you later. Bye bye. And opponent to tie. And all games is gone. All right, so I just wanted to pick. So you see, there's like a cow face in here that I keep seeing. I'm like, why is there a cow face? You see the cow face right there? That's the eye. That's the nose. That's the mouth. That's the horn. The cow. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. Appreciate everybody in Twitch. Like I said again, Kajudo, Opti. Everybody in Mixer, Neptune Man, Stern Sheet, Mama, BM. Everybody in Discord, DC Nate, Sully, Tiger Claw, GK128, Pace, Brr. Derek H, I know you're listening. You creeper. You creepy beer. Creep, TP, creep, teep. Anyway, I'm out. Tilt away, y'all, and see y'all next, maybe during the week, something. I don't know. I'll have to see. But have to see if I have to see. I can't tell because I see. Putting the town on the T. Sip some sound of D. T-between town the T. And my whatchamacallit froze. Oh wait, I gotta play. No, it is play. Oh, it's broken. Never mind. Peace.